The EBB Stadium, Aldershot Town against Dorking, and alongside Rob is a man who knows both clubs very well indeed. Rob,
he certainly does. We tagged. He doesn't know this because he wasn't here at the time, but we teed him up beautifully earlier, didn't we? As the only 100% man in the Dorking Aldershot. We'll call it an early rivalry. It's not really, Ross, is it, as yet, a local derby, but it's certainly the Ross McNeely derby anyway, that's for sure. Welcome back to the EBB. Almost a year to the day since you departed, I believe.
Yeah. I left my role at Aldershot on the 1st of April last year, so a year to the day, and obviously had the pleasure of doing this fixture as well last season, so yeah, it's good to be back for this game. Yeah, good to see, obviously know Mark really well, and good to see both teams really.
So both teams desperate for all 3 points today for, business end of the season. There's no dabbling around, having a point here and a point there. Both teams are going to go for this, Ross, aren't they? Just looking at the starting lineups as you have, we think a 3 for Dorking, with an option to change to a 4 today or not, because that was the big talking point from the Barnet game last week.
Yeah, so I can't see it based on the personnel he's got on the pitch. I think he'll know that Aldershot are going to be in the 3-5-2, so he'll be pretty confident going out in a 3-5-2, knowing they're going to stick with that. So he'll be pretty much with that for the most of the day. So yeah, I imagine the 3-5-2 v 3-5-2 would be what he's comfortable with. Yeah,
good stuff. And for Aldershot, and obviously you've not seen him so much of late, but been playing a 3 at the back all season, and Ollie Harfield adapted, of course, to a left centre-back role now. They make the big decision to leave Josh Stokes on the bench today and bring in Josh Barrett. What do you make of that one?
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, obviously Ollie did a little bit of left centre-back for me last season, so I can definitely play that role really well, so I'm looking forward to watching that. But I mean, ultimately, I think the pace that they have in transition, attacking transition, Aldershot, which they've been excellent with all season. You've obviously got Tolage, Frost, Glover, Daly, Willard. I mean, that's a lot of pace. And then if you've got Barrett as well, working in there with sort of like looking for key passes and looking to be that sort of like playmaker in and around that 4 or 5. I believe that's where they'll be going, looking to nick the ball and looking to transition nice and quickly against sort of a back 3 that have struggled a little bit with pace, really.
Final question, and we'll hand back to Tim, and then we'll come back and cover it all live very shortly. But Aldershot's typical goal, if you like, is scoring on the transition, and if it's a fair comment, Dorking's typical goal conceded is giving it away. Now, that was probably still the case, whatever it was, 4 or 5 months ago when you sat up on the Dorking bench against Aldershot. How did you stop it that day?
Yeah, so we worked a bit on being a bit more compact, and we let sort of like Kobe Rowe have the ball a lot in that game, and that allowed us to then sort of like block off the rest of the pitch and really work on closing our distances. And we were able to then work in the transition. So Kobe then obviously didn't have much options. Distances were really tight. So as soon as we nicked the ball, we were able to break, and we were able to cause lots and lots of problems in that attacking transition. Something probably when we weren't renowned for, but we obviously got a lot of success that day. It will be interesting today, because I think that's where Aldershot are, like you said, really, really strong. They're excellent in their attacking organisation and attacking transition, and there's obviously 4 parts of the game: defence and organisation, defensive transition. I'm a big believer being excellent in 1 or 2 of them, and I think Aldershot are excellent in 1 or 2 of them, and Dorking have sort of struggled in all of those phases a little bit this season to get consistency in all those phases. So it will be interesting, and on the pitch as well, quick pitch, big pitch, lots and lots of shit space, so it will be really interesting.
All right, and our presenter Tim Torrance would like a quick word with you.
Ross, how are you? Great to speak to you again.
Nice to speak to you too.
Yeah, thanks for doing this afternoon. We'll stay with you now. The players will be out, so when they do, Rob, we'll pick up and build up the drama. I just wanted to ask you, obviously, as you say, it's been a year to the day. Tommy's obviously done a very good job, and how good is it also to see the ground almost full, to see the crowds building and the town excited again? Because you put in the platform for this, didn't you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to take some credit, but
I've got to give you some. I'm not going to give it all to Tommy.
Thank you. I think, do you know, this is the first time I've been back, obviously, and it's easy to look at my time as like, I did that for whatever 9-10 months, but I was there for 5 years, and to come back, to see it full, to see it buzzing as well is really, really good. And I think the style of football that he's brought to this home ground, I think, is exactly what it needed, and it's really, really sort of hit the nail on the head. So yeah, I'm pleased I was a part of it. I'm a big believer in sort of like leaving it to do well and be successful. So it's good to see some of the players I brought to the club playing today, and certainly brought through the academy Tommy Willard as well. So
yes,
I'm really, really looking forward to it.
And I'm going to ask you a tough one before I hand to Rob. It wouldn't be fair for Rob to ask this one, but you know Mark White very well. As Steve Gibbs described it, a fabled story, a remarkable story. Do we know what is going to be Dorking's level? Have they reached their level? Has he reached his level as a coach? You know, can you see Dorking going bigger and bigger? Or, you know, how big can that club get? Or is it always going to be Aldershot as an ex-Football League club who always have the infrastructure to be bigger?
I think it's a time thing, and he needs time, and just coming into this league and being able to go like a magic wand, to go full time, to transition into that and build a side with players that need to come into play this level overnight just can't happen. So it's almost like a 5, 6, 7 year project, and let's say he's 2-3 years into it. He's got plenty of time left, and Mark White will tell you the sky is the limit for this football club, and I'll honestly believe him when he says it. So even no matter what happens this season, he'll be super positive, and he'll want to bounce back immediately, and he'll absolutely believe that he can get back in and crack the National League.
Full live commentary, Aldershot Dorking, Ross McNeely alongside Rob Worrell.
Thank you very much indeed, Tim. The teams are out. Aldershot in their home kit of red and blue striped shirts, red shorts and red socks today. They don't have to wear the white socks that they did at Maidenhead, which we can now say were officially unlucky because they lost that one 4-0. Dorking Wanderers in one of their away kits. It's the predominantly white one with the red and blue flash down the side. One way or another, on the pitch and in the stands, an awful lot of red today, and some blue and some white as well. And Ross, the first thing, in fact, I'm going to run through the teams, and then I want to ask you about seeing this ground with, you know, approximately 4,000 people in it. What a sight it is to behold. But the Aldershot Town team have gone into a huddle. Dorking are ready to go. The shots line up as follows: Van Stappershoef in goal, Harfield, Harries and Minoga the centre backs, Glover the left wing back, Frost the right wing back, Willard and Widrington in centre midfield, and Josh Barrett playing behind Lauren Tollage and James Daly. For Dorking, we've had our stab at it. We've got some pretty useful information alongside us, so we hope we're right. Harrison Mayle in goal, Bobby Joe Taylor, Tony Craig and Isaac Philpott, the back three. And then Aaron Cool, recalled from his loan spell in the National League South. Luke Moore and Josh Taylor in central midfield. And then Seb Bowman on the left, Jimmy Mewett on the right, Charlie Carter linking between the midfield and the forward of Jason Pryor. We're now going to have a minute's applause for Alex McGregor, a legend at Aldershot Town. Graham Brooklyn, the co-founder, has listed him as his all-time favourite shots player. Let me shut up and let you listen to Craig on the PA.
Following his retirement, Alex and his family settled in the area, and he was always a popular guest back at the club when he made return visits over the ensuing years. To honour Alex, we would now like to invite supporters to stand and join in a minute's applause in his memory, which will start and end on the referee's whistle.
A minute's applause there for the magnificent Alex McGregor. And as we prepare for kick-off, Ross, And we've got a goal already at Crawley. Newport against Crawley. Gary Smith.
Crawley Town won. Thank you, Rob. Unbelievably, Crawley have taken the lead here inside the first 60 seconds. Forced a corner over on the right-hand side with the first attack of the game. Ball was played short. It works its way back to Will Wright over on that far side. He played it into the box. And Dion Conroy on the volley. Back in the side this afternoon from just inside the 6-yard box. Goalkeeper Townsend got a hand on it. Couldn't keep it out. It's a lightning fast start for Crawley. They lead here by 1-0.
Thank you very much indeed. We're underway here at the EBB. Shots kicking towards the High Street Community Stand end in the first half. Josh Taylor's got it, trying an early ball out to the right hand side. Glover's the right side, he's just going to shepherd it, he might let it go out, he touches it inside and back to Ollie Harfield. And Harfield plays the ball forward now. Tollidge is going to battle with Craig. It's not going to be a battle. Craig wins the header, Moore helps it on. Harfield jumps over the Dorking Wanderers number 15. It's a shirt number that wasn't on the list for me. That's confused me slightly, but we'll carry on. It's back in the Dorking defence and played out to the right hand side where Isaac Philpott will come away with the ball now. Bobby Joe Taylor playing the left back in the 3. And I'm pretty sure I've seen, heard, watched enough bunch of amateurs. I'm not sure that Bobby Joe Taylor's in Mark White's favourite position today, but he's got to do a job, Ross.
Yeah, I mean, he's there predominantly for pace, I imagine, to cut out this sort of like transition like we were talking about at the beginning. And him and Isaac both give him that in the back line.
And they've given it away here. Craig plays it into Barrett. He's inside the area and he scores! The shots are ahead inside the first 2 minutes. It's Josh Barrett's first ever goal in this spell for Aldershot Town. Tollidge it was that played him in. Another assist for the Swiss striker. And the nightmare start for Wanderers. The perfect start for Aldershot Town. Shots 1, Dorking 0, Ross McNeely.
Yeah, I mean, you could call it a transition goal, but I think that's been really kind. Harrison has been, he's been excellent all season and he's kept him in many games, but that's a bit of a, he's clipped it, he's gone to clip it wide to Bobby Joe, who's gone wide, and it's been cut out in a good finish from Josh Barrett, really. Not a great start, a team lacking confidence, Dorking Wanderers, and it'll be interesting how they react here.
And you know what, we'll get the thoughts of Steve in just a moment, but Ross, staying with you for a second. I didn't even get to make the point that I wanted to make in the first 5 or 10 minutes, that with so much at stake and both sides needing a win, that whichever side scores first, it's going to just double the pressure on the other team, isn't it? Yeah, I'm sorry to you, Ross. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, yeah. But you've got this crowd and you've got this sort of like relentlessness at home from Aldershot, so there doesn't seem to, there's that freedom to play. So I doubt there's much pressure on the sort of Aldershot. They've got this bit of freedom to attack and go and be creative, and all the pressure's on obviously Dorking today with the sort of results that they've been and coming here to try and get a result.
And we're still waiting for kick-off here. There's some sort of discussion going on between the fourth official and Mark White and a steward as well, who's on a telephone. So we'll come back to that. If you could, we could just bring Steve Gibbs in. Steve, initially, I guess your thoughts on the goal, less than 2 minutes in.
Yeah, it was, as Ross said, Harrison has been excellent all season as a goalkeeper. He horribly telegraphed that pass. Tollidge was onto it, and excellent composure from Barrett as he went through. Still had Mail to beat, a lot to do, but yeah, superb composure from Barrett, and confidence is a big thing. Watching Dorking in recent weeks, you can see they are lacking in confidence in both boxes, but they've got the worst first half record in away games throughout the season. In the second half, they've got the 9th best. So the first goal, yes, will be vital, but Aldershot Town cannot afford to rest on their laurels. Dorking can and will come back at them.
Okay.
It's easier to play a little bit when the pressure's gone though, Steve, when you're 1-0 down or 2-0 down.
Here's Widrington.
You got transition again.
As far as Frost looks to get the Daly in on the transition. It's half cleared to Widrington, who sends it out to the left side where Barrett's waiting, but Harfield's overlapping him. Barrett again, edge of the area. He's going to go back out to Glover. Let Glover and Harfield do what they do. Moore's there. There's a ball forward back to Barrett. Barrett down by the corner flag, goes back to Harfield, one touch, feints the cross, doesn't make the cross, goes back to Glover, one touch inside, turns, goes the other way. Now a ball into Tolaj. Who the Shots fans will be delighted is, well, he got a pushed back, got pushed again. The referee decided that Lauren Tolaj's push was the strongest. So many talking points here, we'll get to them as we can, as Bobby Joe Taylor puts the ball into touch when he's trying to feed Bowerman. And just so many talking points for Josh Barrett. Manager Tommy Widrington left Tolaj out at Maidenhead on Friday. There were a couple of reasons behind it. One, we think a little bit of a knock in training, and two, he wanted him to come on and be a finisher against a tiring and aging Maidenhead defence with Clarima and Loco, but it went wrong, and of course you leave yourselves open to criticism when you leave your top scorer and one of the National League's hottest players. Today he's left he's left Stokes out, but the man he's put in from scored already. So one to the manager so far, right?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, like I said to you, he's in that sort of pocket in the middle, just sort of like trying to run the game with all the pace in and around him.
Kidderminster Harriers are 1-0 up away at Chesterfield. Chesterfield not adverse to going behind and coming through and winning. Eastleigh 1, Maidenhead United 0. The other Maidenhead have turned up today by the sounds of it. The one that's been playing most of the season, not the one that turned up on Friday. And it's Southend United 1, Borehamwood 0. At some point, if we get a lull in the proceedings, we'll get Ross's thoughts on the most bonkers season ever in the most bonkers league. Ball's in touch, throw in to Aldershot. The sun's out at the minute, but it's only a faint strip of blue sky because we can predominantly see white and grey clouds. Throw in taken down the line from Frost to Tolaj. He gets it back. Now he's under pressure from Josh Taylor.
It'll be interesting here because, like, you look at like the time they've got. It's 3v1 here.
Yeah.
Because Charlie Carter's so deep.
Yeah.
He's almost playing like a midfielder.
Ball out to the left, chased down by Daly. It'll go all the way through to Harrison.
So it's interesting, like how Jason's gonna find that. Charlie's in there. So almost like a free box free, a free diamond free now.
All right.
To try and play out.
Yeah. Tony Craig's got it again. That mix up between him and Mail in the second minute allowed Tolaj to pounce on the ball and to feed it to Barrett, who had a touch, realised the odds were in his favour, stayed calm and slotted it past Harrison Mail to give the Shots a big boost that they probably needed. Let's remember, a terrific season for the Shots and still in a playoff position, but no wins in 3. All of a sudden, those runs can appear from nowhere, can't they? You know, a winning draw, if you like. There's another given away. And Tolaj was so close to getting on the end of Bowerman's pass back. It did just make it. Ball's played forward. Monogah's won it in the air. Feeds cool. That's over the top. That'll be one bounce through to Jordi van Stappershoef. Some interesting discussions on ShotsWeb, which I still do read occasionally. I don't have a login anymore, so I couldn't respond. One or two people seeing fit to give what my opinion is of Jordi van Stappershoef. I give a different opinion every game because it depends whether he's good, bad or indifferent. He may have done better in the opening 2 goals on Saturday, but he was superb after that. So it was a mixed one really for him. Here's Monogah on the right hand side, plays it into Tolaj. Tolaj will come back to Frost. It's all Aldershot with the early play here. Widrington encouraging his men on. Tolaj into
nice football.
Widrington to Frost. Frost sends it in, half cleared by Tony Craig, and he finds Seb Bowerman. Widrington's chasing hard to shut down Bowerman. A little slip.
Yeah,
and,
good work right
Shots
there.
of Preston
Really
won
good.
it again. Barrett's won it. Plays it inside to Tolaj. Tolaj to Widrington. It's all Aldershot in the opening 8.5 minutes, and they lead 1-0 thanks to Josh Barrett's first goal. Here's Monogah running forward. And I'm going to say he buys cleverly. A foul there. Pryor tracking him back. Just takes the body check as he turned inside. Didn't really have anywhere to go. Cute bit of play from Monogah.
Yeah. Tommy's screaming to move the ball quicker, and Hadji gets on it and drives forward into space. That gets that space though, because Charlie's deep in midfield and he's got that extra outside player anyway. So yeah, it'd be interesting.
All right, it's Shots have taken it short and gone back. There's no Dorking players forward at all at the moment. All inside their own half. Even Pryor, who's now moving to shut down Kian Harris. And yeah, Harfield coming forward just over halfway here. We're into the 10th minute. So Ball's poked into touch by Dorking, by Jimmy Mewett. And very shortly we'll get some updates from around our other grounds. Of course, we had a goal very early on, didn't we? A terrific start for Crawley at Newport, as well as Aldershot here against Dorking. Is Glover battling away? Let's just see if he can win the ball. No, he can't. He's popped it into touch, throw into Dorking in the right back position. So let's go around our grounds. Just the two other games to go to today. Shall we nip back initially to Gary at Newport against Crawley, where Crawley took an early lead. Gary, have they settled? They look good for that lead?
Yeah, they really have, Rob. They scored inside the first 60 seconds. Dion Conroy on the volley from a crossing from Will Wright from the first corner of the game. But it has to be said, the home side have responded very well. They've looked dangerous in and around the penalty area. You can probably hear the disappointment from the home fans all around us in this stand when anything is given against their side. But in terms of possession, it's probably been the lion's share in favour of Newport County since the goal. But statistically, Rob, the only thing that matters is the scoreboard, and at the moment it says Newport 0, Crawley Town 1.
Hey, you did.
Dorking give it. Thank you very much, Gary. Dorking give it away again. Barrett feeds Widrington. Stay with this attack. Here's Daly. Turns on the ball. Clips it out to the left to Harfield. So good to see Harfield and Glover working together again on the left side. We'll get Steve Gibbs' thought on that in a minute. It's key link up for the shots. Ball into the area. Daly, one touch, and then it's poked into touch for an attacking throw. Just 10 yards back from the corner flag. Away to our right at the High Street end. We're in the just popped into the 12th minute now. Aldershot Town 1, Dorking Wanderers 0. From the throw-in, Glover gives it back to Harfield, who gives it back to him. Glover's going to send a cross in deep now. Harrison Mail would jump and catch it, and that should give us enough time to go over this afternoon to Tom Mitchell for the first time. Hang on a minute though. Yeah, Van Stappershoef clears his lines as Carter nearly got in. Tom Mitchell, Bromley against Woking. How's that one going, Tom?
It's Bromley 0, Woking 0 at the moment. No real clear-cut chances created in these early stages with 12 minutes gone. Corboa put a dangerous cross from the left-hand side, but no one was there to get onto it. Bromley had a free kick whipped in from the left. It was a tame header from Webster straight at Yaskalion. So Bromley 0, Woking 0 here, 12 minutes played.
Thank you very much. So goalless between Bromley and Woking. Free kick to Aldershot here on halfway. And Widrington back in the side today. A little bit unlucky perhaps to have been left out of the last game, having played well in the one before that. Certainly starting to win over the shots faithful now. Theo Widrington, it's taken a while, is Harfield in possession. Goes back to Van Stappershoef, he's quickly off his line. Arrows a low pass out to the left-hand side. So Ross, as a coach, manager, whatever you want to be today, innocent bystander looking on, 12 and a half minutes gone. Obviously we've talked about the goal since then. How's it settled down for you?
Yeah, I mean, obviously Aldershot started quick with the early goal, like we knew it was going to be. It's going to be that 3-5-2 system matchup. The Aldershot having a lot of possession as well, which is interesting because obviously Dorking are sort of a possession-based side, but there's a lot of space when Tolaj is dropping into the pocket, a space into that sort of 10, and Daly's doing it. Daly does it as well. There's a lot of space in and around Cool. Obviously Barrett got the goal in that sort of like turnover, but both teams quite happy just getting into a bit of a block and letting the back three have it and then going from there really. But the distances from Aldershot are good in terms of that possession and sort of letting Tony Craig have it and come forward as well a lot. So just then trying to pick up the ball when it does work its way into sort of central areas.
It's back at the moment with Harrison Mail. So we've given you the scorelines elsewhere in our Bank Holiday Sports special on BBC Radio Sussex and BBC Radio Surrey. We're also going to keep you abreast of 3 very important games in the National League South this afternoon. More on that to follow. Here's Carter running at the Aldershot defence, goes inside and it's cleared away by Harfield. Taylor heads it forward, that's Bobby Joe to Bowerman. Bowerman holds it up, assesses his options. Plays it off of Cool, back to Bobby Joe Taylor. Josh Taylor's onto it, gives it back to Bobby Joe Taylor, appeals for offside, not given, cross blocked by Frost. Back to Bowerman. Bowerman with the cross, Van Stappershoef jumps and catches it well. And that's a heartwarming moment for the Shots fans, who do like to criticise their keeper. Despite being 6'6", they feel he doesn't dominate his area as well as he could. But Ross, every single team that sets up against him says, right, they've got a 6'6" goalkeeper, let's go and stick a man on him from corners, free kicks, etc. That's what happens, doesn't it? I'll come back to you because Aldershot are on the attack. Barrett, Glover back to Harfield's running down the left side with Cool alongside him, manages to get his crossing, touchdown by Daly to Tollard, shot parried away, a quite brilliant save from Harrison Mayle in the 13th minute. It should have been 2-0 shots, but for Harrison Mayle, Shots player's now gone down injured in the midfield.
He's done well there, Tollage. There was a snapshot though, wasn't it? So he's not had much time and he's sort of like bounced it into the ground.
Caught it beautifully, didn't he?
Yeah,
and Harrison Mayle did what he's paid for.
Yeah. Was that a link up with was that Barrett as well?
Daly as well.
Daly.
Yeah. Southend 2-0 up against Boreham Wood, who are the one team in this battle of the bottom half, Ross, that I thought, you know what, a straight 6-game race. Who's equipped for the battle? I thought Boreham Wood.
Yeah, no chance.
4-0 defeat Friday, 2-0 down already. What is going on?
And it's that thing that Steve, it's interesting what confidence does. You start getting beat and then you start like sort of not believing that you can win games or where the points are going to come from. But I think it was about 5 or 6 games ago. They were about middle of the road. They were about mid-table, I think. And I thought maybe they might kick on a little bit and have a bit of a late run, but they've sort of gone the other way. The complete opposite of Luke Garrard's side. So yeah, that will be interesting last few weeks how they fare, but it seems to be really struggling with confidence. Southend have obviously picked up as well.
Ball into the area. A little bit of confusion between Tolaj and Glover. Tolaj then slips but gets up, still got the ball, drags it back one way, then the other goes down again. Is it a free kick? No. Craig's got it, but all of a sudden he wonders where the Dorking Wanderers players are to pass. He's got 5 of them within about 4 feet of him. Very bunched, but Dorking not happy at the moment, are they? And what Aldershot have done, you can clearly see it. They've gone man for man against that back three.
Yeah, pretty
to put
much.
the fear of God into them.
And which left Cool free, which obviously Theo's going to have to jump now to put some pressure on it. But they're compact enough to not have to worry about it. So interesting, almost in a 5-2 free press there, Aldershot.
Okay, Aldershot in possession in their own half at the moment. Harries plays it out to the right hand side to Widrington. Down the line, Frost is favourite to get onto this one. He takes it down, tries a little back heel to the edge of the area. Daly lifts his foot, shot comes in from Barrett, and the referee sees the high foot from Daly, and he blows the whistle. And Barrett gets the volley in anyway, it's slightly high. What do you make? I mean, I'm going to ask Steve this one if I can. Steve, Josh Barrett, you've seen a little bit of him now, and Ross may not have done, not in recent times. He's a bit of an enigma in footballing terms, isn't he? He's not going to run box to box for you. Hang on, let's see if Josh Taylor can get in here down by the byline. He does, but Aldershot should clear their lines. He's rarely going to play 90 minutes. He's not going to get box to box, but he's got a lovely touch. He's shown another touch again there, and he's fed Willard. Willard spreads it out to the left-hand side to Tolaj. Tolaj back into Willard in the area, tries a... shot is just across Mayle and then just past his left-hand post and just wide. 18 minutes gone. Steve, you got the microphone. We'll come to you. 1-0 shots, could be 3. And your thoughts on Josh Barrett?
Yeah, first off, great to see Tommy Willard back. I think he brings something extra to this Shots team. A burgeoning midfielder, still playing unfamiliar role to him, but excellent passing ability and complements Theo superbly, I think, with that energy. With Josh Barrett, I'm of the school of thought that you pick players for what they can do, not leave them out for what they can't do. And no, he's not going to be box to box, but if you're looking for a deputy for Josh Stokes, he's got excellent vision, touch, creativity, and that's what he'll bring you. And yes, people will say he looks overweight, he's not mobile enough. He has admitted that himself, but you give him the ball and he will create something. So you play to his strengths and he will be an asset to this team.
Here's Daly trying to flick on a goal kick, and he's got it back under control and gives it to Tyler Frost. He's cutting directly across, plays the ball into Tolaj, well read by Tony Craig, credit where it's due, cuts it out. Mayle has one touch, Tolaj is closing him down in no time. Dorking clear their lines, they play it up to Jason Pryor, who's under pressure from Harfield. Aldershot very nearly won it again. Tommy Widrington knows what Josh Barrett can do. He's had him a little while at Bristol Rovers, he's had him for a season or so at Kings Lynn, and he knows exactly what he can bring, and he'll probably even though he's got to move to Bristol City, be saying to Josh Stokes, just watch Josh Barrett today and see some of the things he does, because you can add to your game, you know. Here's a cross in from Dorking to the far post, and I think it's come off Bowerman, actually. It has indeed. The referee points to a goal kick to Shots, and we're closing in on 20-minute mark. Let's go nice and early while we've got Aldershot with a goal kick in their own half around our grounds, just the two. First up, Gary Smith at Newport against Crawley, where the visitors had the lead last time. Oh, hang on a moment. Here's Josh Taylor getting in. Dorking pressing and winning the ball off Aldershot. It's blocked across by Kean Harries. Back out. Mewitt's going to send in across now. That's headed away by Harries. And Luke Moore's going to be the first onto that. So stand by, Gary. We'll come to you as soon as we can for an update. And there's a ball into Charlie Carter, heavy touch. Into touch, throw into Aldershot in the right back position. So Gary Smith, Newport against Crawley.
Can't quite get on it. Yeah, thank you, Rob. Just approaching 22 minutes. Here's a ball over the top. Flag stays down. Zanzala inside the area for Newport County. Thwarted by two white shirts, but it's not a great clearance. Seized upon by Evans. Forward down to this near side. Crossing opportunity. Ball goes square across the penalty area. And Crawley in the end are able to sweep it away. Constant pressure at the moment by the home side. Orsi wins it back though. He's adjudged to have committed a foul. It will be a free kick to Newport County. Scott Lindsay and his coaching team absolutely apoplectic about that one. Newport had a great chance of an equaliser, Rob. Top scorer Will Evans, after 14 minutes, timed his run to perfection, one-on-one with Corey Adai, but the keeper made himself big and blocked it with his feet. It's been breathless stuff, but it is still Crawley who have their noses in front, courtesy of that goal after 60 seconds by Dion Conroy.
Thank you very much. So Crawley still ahead, and a big chance there for Newport with Will Evans, who I spoke to just a couple of weeks ago, who was commentating on the England-C game at Wales for S4C. Joining us back here at the EBB, Shots have a throw-in halfway inside the Dorking half. Harfield's got the ball. When we get an appropriate break in play here, we'll get another update from Tom at Bromley for Woking, who still need points to make it safe. They're going well, but there's Daly foul. Frost. Referee plays, I thought, an advantage. Maybe he didn't think it was a foul. Frost then loses the ball.
Harry's well he got tight, didn't he? Followed him out and
Cool's running after that to try and keep it in, because he knows the final touch was off a Dorking player. Then he plays it down the line to Mewitt. Neither Glover or Mewitt can get onto that one. Willard doesn't quite get the touch he wants. We've got a goal in one of those National League South games. It's good news for Worthing. They're winning. Eastbourne are winning, but Farnborough are losing. So goals in all of those games. In fact, all of our games, other than Bromley against Woking, which is very different to Friday. Oh. Here's a ball over the top from Harry, straight through the middle. Bobby Taylor heads it up in the air. Tony Craig heads it back into a position where Mail can gather it. And we are halfway through the first half. So
Bob's hurt himself there. That's off the tackle earlier. That's off the tackle that we thought was a foul.
Yeah, that's Bobby Joe Taylor down, needs treatment. So the perfect opportunity, exactly halfway through the first half as well, Ross, to get your thoughts in just a moment. Let's get Bromley against Woking update, and then we'll get Ross's thoughts on the first half so far. So Tom Mitchell, how are Woking doing?
It's still Bromley 0, Woking 0 here at Hayes Lane. 24 minutes played, and against Itchy last with us, no real clear-cut chances. Woking have had a few promising counter-attacks, but Bromley quickly broke them down. But I think Woking have been very, very solid at the back, and again, I think Woking could be really pleased with their work so far at Hayes Lane. It's Bromley 0, Woking 0, 24 minutes played.
Thank you very much, Tom. So still goalless between Bromley and Woking. Bromley, a team that until the last couple of games, Aldershot thought they might still be hunting down. That gap looks a little bit too big perhaps at this stage. So stoppage in play, treatment to Bobby Joe Taylor, 1-0 Shots, 23, nearly 24 minutes gone on the clock, but obviously a couple of minutes to be added already. Ross McNeely, what do you make of it?
Yeah, well, the game's settled a bit more now, hasn't it? And it's I think the sort of Dorking have got a bit of confidence back into themselves, so obviously they had a little bit of a chance from pressing high maybe not so long ago, so that's helped a little bit. But obviously every time there's sort of like a transition or a break, Aldershot look extremely dangerous, and that's something they'll be massively worried about. But yeah, there's been a bit of a lull in the game, I guess, in the last sort of 5 or 10 minutes, which Dorking will be certainly more happier with. the pace of the game can be hard for Dorking in particular to deal with, sort of like when they're breaking those numbers.
And I want to ask Steve a question in a moment, but one more for you first. A little bit of insight required here. It does look a genuine injury to Bobby Joe Taylor. I was going to say it would be, wouldn't it? One of those perfect times for a tactical, when you get a chance, go down. We'll call him in and have a little reword, because let's face it, it looks genuine, he's limping. Yeah. But Dorking needed that gathering they've just had, didn't they?
Yeah. And I think that'll just be rallying the troops, reiterating what sort of their game plan was. As you can see, it's coming off. They've certainly worked on being compact and worked on their out of possession shape, because they're not massively pressing high all of the time, which has been really positive to see from Dorking. So I think that's the most important thing, and sort of, like you said, a bit of rallying the troops. And obviously Baz is going to come on.
Barry Fuller, very experienced.
Yeah.
Still incredibly fit. He has been out with a knock, hasn't he? And he's come back on the bench today, and here he finds himself coming into the action 26 minutes in.
Yeah.
We don't know how fit he is, do we? I mean,
he'll be fine, Baz. Super experienced. Go straight on that left-hand side, not a problem.
Okay, referee gets us back underway. So, on this Bank Holiday Sports Special on BBC Radio Surrey and BBC Radio Sussex, it is goals in all the games bar one. Worthing ahead, Eastbourne ahead, Farnborough behind, Crawley ahead, and Bromley and Woking are level. Here's a free kick to Dorking in the Aldershot Town half. Luke Moore and Aaron Cooler over it, and then we have got another goal to go to after this free kick, and it may be in a game we've already had a goal. Luke Moore is over it, Cooler's left that now. Only Josh Barrett left forward for shots. Moore lifts it in, Glover gets a header on it, Widrington volleys it away into touch and into safety. So let's go back to Gary Smith at Newport.
Yeah, there's been a second goal here, Rob, and unbelievably it's gone the way of Crawley once again. They lead here now by 2-0. Since the goal in the first minute, it has been constant Newport County pressure, but Crawley broke away on the left-hand side. Nick Cerula was allowed to run a long way, got to the edge of the area, a couple of exchanges of passes. Eventually it fell to the feet of Ronan Darcy. He cut in field just inside the penalty area and buried it low to the goalkeeper's left-hand side. The clock says that we've played just approaching 29 minutes, and Crawley are at it on the road once again, Rob. It's Newport 0, Crawley Town 2.
Thank you very much, Gary. Dorking looking to respond here. Jason Pryor finds himself out on the right wing and looking for a Jason Pryor in the middle, but he's not. He's making his way into the middle now. Josh Taylor's on the ball. He'll square it to Luke Moore. Moore back to Taylor, who's in a bit of space now, and he can go. Oh, great tackle from Ryan Glover. I have to say, you've worked with Ryan Glover, Ross, but he is a different animal this season as Tolaj fouls on halfway. He's gone to a level that perhaps he knew he had, or Tommy Widrington knew he had, but one of the reasons for that will have been a sustained run of top fitness, without injury niggles or the groin problem.
Playing out wide as well. He is a wing back, right, and he is a winger. So I think when I was there, he pretty much played every single position apart from in goal for me. So that bit of consistency in a position and having a bit of like that trust in him and where he's best suited. But Ryan's excellent. He'll always give 100% and works super hard, but let's not forget, when winning possession and carrying the ball, he's one of the best in the league. He's an excellent ball carrier, and the game is about 1v1 and beating players 1v1 when you can, certainly when teams are in blocks, and he's exceptional at that.
Right. I think I asked the question, didn't I? How fit is Barry Fuller? He's gone down already. He's receiving treatment, and I can see them in radio contact with the bench. This could be disaster for Dorking if they've got to make a double substitution.
That has been an ongoing thing as well
throughout the season. Yeah, sometimes through injury and sometimes through first half bookings, right?
It's making 2-3 subs before half time. It's going to make, this is a potential 2 subs before half time. So then when you need to impact the game later on, that makes it really, really difficult. And I'm not quite sure what he'll go for here.
I think they're playing for time at the moment because they've got to get somebody else stretched out. Steve, just a quick word with Steve, if we can.
Hollis.
That's it. Hayden Hollis is going to come on.
He's the natural replacement at centre-back. But
I was surprised that he didn't start today. I don't know if anyone knows the reason. It's about the pace that Dorking wanted at the back. Right, okay. Ghost. Yeah, sorry, Steve,
Yeah, I think Hayden Hollis will be the natural replacement, but he may struggle against this Aldershot Town attack, and certainly having just brought the vast experience of Fuller on, you wouldn't want to lose him within a few minutes to injury, because as Ross says, it hampers you when you're looking to make decisive attack game-changing substitutions.
Yeah, he's gone
in the game. But
yeah.
Laurent Tolaj did pick up a yellow card for that foul, so it's not just a lack of fitness to Fuller, and it does look like he's coming off.
It's a blood
shirt. Yeah,
he's getting another shirt, so his afternoon's not gone, not done. And that's in fairness to Dorking Wanderers, like you say, Ross, they've had that issue many times this season, with double first half injuries and substitutions having to be used. Quite often, of course, the plan's been going out there with 11 players, at least 3 of which are not fully match fit anyway, and ideally you want to substitute after an hour, and you just can't do it, can you? So he's going to carry on, Fuller. And nice to see that his backup shirt has got his name and his number on as well. Very professional Dorking.
Handball.
Is that a handball? Not given. Josh Taylor's got it. Sends it out to the left side to Jason Pryor. Jason Pryor back onto his left foot. Sends a little
Great
cross
ball.
in. It's missed. And then Mewett was just hesitant at the far post. He might have had a chance on goal. He's got it.
Oh, that's handball.
Tries a cross in.
Oh, I think that's handball.
Well,
that has to be a penalty.
Willard
How is that? How is he not given that as a penalty?
Okay, Willard turns away and lifts his hand up, and as he turns away, the ball strikes it and goes behind for the corner. The referee, Richie Watkins, has given a corner. Big decision, no VAR. He had a moment to think about it, and
VAR would definitely give that.
His verdict was that Willard couldn't do a lot else. He was turning away, and it's natural for your arms to come up. But I've seen them given, Ross, and clearly so have you.
Yeah, I think the ball's going to go in the box, isn't it? And he's about 5-6 yards away. So I mean, whether he's turned his back or not, I think that's really harsh. You would certainly expect it to favour you in that position. So I feel a bit for Dorking. I mean, the cross comes in just before. Jimmy sets himself a little bit better. He might also get a shot off in that half chance. Dorking have been miles better sort of last 5-10 minutes.
There's a foot race between. Is it 39-year-old Barry Fuller and Josh Barrett?
Yeah.
In fairness, Fuller was ahead and he stayed ahead.
Again, they're picking up, dropping off again. Tolaj
out to the left. That might be too strong for Glover. No, he's kept it in. And Aldershot poor forward in number. Harfield's there for the overlap. He gets the ball from Glover, sends it back, headed away by Cool. Only as far as Willard. Big moment for referee Richie Watkins. He was close enough to see it. I think he saw what happened, and his take was Willard turned away and his arms came up as he did so. I don't think anyone in the ground doubted it was handball, but his Harfield battling for a loose ball, and Carter's given it away, then Toller just given it away. Now Cool's got it again. Sometimes, Ross, at the intensity of the National League, they try and play at a pace that, frankly, their quality isn't good enough for, isn't it? Would you agree with that? I mean, moments. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
just occasionally it gets pinging around too quick for any human being to cope with.
Yeah, it happens at the top level as well, right? I think Tolaj, I mean, what is interesting though, when he gives it away in those short distances, Aldershot are quick to react. There's 3 or 4 bodies suddenly around the player, so I didn't quite get it there, but the reaction to counter press has been really good certainly in the first half an hour.
Well, here's Mewett down the right hand side in front of the Dorking fans on the slab. Can he get his cross in? Yes, he can. Can Pryor get on the end of it? Oh. Well, Pryor didn't quite make contact. Bowerman did make some, and it sort of deflected and bounced awkwardly. And all the key moments, a big shove in the back of Daly, but Daly holds him off and with the ball, and then he's brought down by Fuller. Fuller's going to get a yellow card. And your thoughts on that, Ross?
I mean, it is a yellow card, to be fair. I mean, but again, Baz getting a yellow 1v1 against Daly and against Tolaj with 60 odd minutes of the game to go is not ideal neither. Because obviously he's going to need to be able to probably at some point stop a counter or stop a transition or a turnover. So Mark won't feel too comfortable about that.
All the little so 1-0 to Aldershot. That there's not a lot in that. It's but all the other little nuances and moments seem to be stacking up against Dorking and against Mark White. But they're still out there. They've just made the one sub at the moment, but that sub now, Fuller, has already got a bloodied nose and a yellow card. Harries goes back to Van Stappershoef. The home fans didn't like it, but Aldershot keep possession. Ball played up to Tolaj. brings it down. His strength, he looks quite lean, but is so strength the way he balances himself.
So he drops deep as well, doesn't he? I mean, you don't realise how deep he comes at times. I mean, he almost plays like a number 10, and sometimes they actually don't even have a centre forward.
Yeah. Absolutely. Here's Tolledge getting a vital toe again, quite deep to feed Widrington, who finds
Josh Barrett looking in behind.
Yeah, Harfield likes that little pocket of Barrett on the right there. There's a good win from Mewett, from Glover, but Glover gets it back, carries on his run, plays it into Tolledge inside the area, tries a shot, it's blocked. It was on target, we can see that because we were right behind it, but it was fairly weak.
Chance this, Josh can run, and he's done on the break, Josh and Charlie.
Josh Taylor out to Charlie Carter. He's up against Harfield now into the penalty area. Harfield goes in for the ball and wins it cleanly. Andy had to. And he holds the ball off now and clears it away, and Barrett's back there to get onto it. Ollie Harfield, Ryan Glover, Lauren Tolledge and Josh Stokes, Ross, are the 4 clear runners for Aldershot in the player of the season. It'll be interesting to see how it goes. Tolledge, one of the top scorers in the division, might even be in the shake-up for the National League player of the year, but within the club, Ollie Harfield has been so consistent. Glover well improved, and Josh Stokes, of course, has got himself a £250,000 plus move to Bristol City. So an embarrassment of riches to choose that player of the year from. We'll get your thoughts.
Good problem, isn't it? I mean, obviously Ollie in the England C squad as well, which is really good to see.
Yeah, here's Glover coming down the left-hand side, up against Cool. Gone back onto his right foot, squares it. Tolledge touches it back to Barrett. Barrett wasn't quite ready for it, but adjusts and does well. He's got the ball again, and Aldershot just possibly guilty of slightly overplaying here. And a lovely ball out from Barrett to Frost. He can go one-on-one against Bowerman. Plays a ball inside to Widrington. Widrington turns, faces up more, gives the ball back to Frost. Can he get his cross in? He can't quite. He needed to spin and pivot quite sharply there and over.
Josh Barrett looks knackered.
Well, the thing is, I guess by starting him, and hopefully, unfortunately, one of the couple of times he started this season, and one of them he did end up hobbling off after 25 minutes. He's not going to go anywhere near the length of this game, but hopefully he can continue the good job he started with that opening goal in the 2nd minute. I was just going to say, this might be a bit unfair question. You can deal with it, or you can bat it off. During your time at Dorking, which is the majority of this season, have a think about it, come back to us in a minute. The best Dorking player over the course of the time that you were there, the one that impressed you the most. You ready for it, or do you want a bit of time?
I can do it now. I think Harrison Mill without a shadow of a doubt.
Oh, here's Craig slipping, missing it. Daly squares it across. Tolledge will get it, then we'll go round the grounds. He turns, he's into the penalty area, squares it, pulls it back looking for Willard, but passes straight to Aaron Cool. And Cool clears into.
I think Harrison Mill's been excellent for Dorking.
Yeah,
I think you could put Josh Taylor and maybe even let Charlie Carter, came late in and around that, but I think Harrison Mill's consistency, he's won them points, he's won them games. He's been absolutely exceptional. And
all right, let's go around the grounds one last time in this half, and then we'll get half-time reports at half-time. Gary Smith, Newport against Crawley. Going well for the visitors when we last heard, 2-0 up. Any change, Gary Smith?
No change in the scoreline at all, Rob. Still Newport 0, Crawley Town 2. Dion Conroy within the first 60 seconds, and then Ronan Darcy after 26 minutes. The home side have just had to make a change as well. Their skipper Scott Bennett went down with an injury inside their own penalty area. He was deemed unfit to be able to carry on, so they've had to make a change that I'm sure wasn't in their game plan. Crawley had a great chance when Ronan Darcy hit the post after 31 minutes, and then Lolos had a chance as well after 36 minutes. Newport have probably been on top in terms of possession, but it's Crawley who have the statistics in their favour at the moment, Rob. It's Newport 0, Crawley Town 2 as we approach half-time.
And it's offside. Thank you very much indeed, Gary. So good build up there from Dorking in attack, but as Mewett sent the ball in, the offside flag went up. Let's go straight away as Aldershot have a goal kick, or a free kick inside their goal area, to Tom Mitchell. Bromley against Woking. Come on, Tom, you're the only one without a goal when we last came to you. Any news?
Unfortunately, still not a goal here at Hayes Lane with 39 minutes played. So, yeah, still Bromley 0, Woking 0. Probably the best chance since you were last with us was a free kick to Bromley, taken from Ashley Charles right on the line of the area, inside right, whipped over the wall and just went wide of Jaskalainen's post. It was a good moment for Woking inside the box. Corbeau was teed up but completely missed the ball with his right foot, and Bromley managed to clear. So it's Bromley 0, Woking 0.
Thank you very much, Tom Mitchell. Goal kick or free kick just outside the area, which Van Stappershoef is going to take. A word for the Wanderers fans. Magnificent. Might be pushing close to that. I think the most that they've taken away is about 350 to Woking, something like that. It's not far off it, Ross.
Yeah, there's a really good crowd, really good travelling. I can't quite hear the drum though. Is the drum not being allowed in? You normally hear the drum banging, but yeah, it's really good to see. Just when they need them as well. Obviously going through a really tough period, so yeah, that's really, really positive. Good to see them travelling to the game, and instead of been a lot more even last sort of 10 or 15 minutes.
Good advantage played by the referee. Josh Taylor's in on the edge of the area, squares it to Bowerman, and Bowerman snatches at his shot and lifts it over the bar. And maybe, I mean, we can't put it all into one moment, Ross. There might have even been a little bobble, I don't know, but the pressure Dorking are under almost seemed to be shown in that effort on goal, snatched.
About sums it up. I mean, he just takes a touch and he can even he's got plenty of time to take it even a little bit closer, so Seb will be kicking himself for that, because Seb's finishing is good, and that's something I'd certainly sort of like say he's very, very good at. So really disappointing that, but they've grown into this game the last 15-20 minutes, and I'm sure Tommy at half time we'll be letting them know they haven't moved the ball quick enough in the final third, or even crisp enough, sort of that little bit of quality in the final third in terms of like the passing hasn't quite been there, Aldershot.
And I think that's the one comment that we'd probably make from an Aldershot Town point of view. Got the early goal, looked promising, but for all the other bits and pieces we've talked about how they look sharp.
Oh, you go.
It is only 1-0, but here's Tolaj onto the ball against Craig. Cuts inside onto his left, tries a shot, it's blocked. He probably should have fed Josh Barrett there, but it was a good block, good recovery from Craig. Here's Charlie Carter battling with Minoga. No foul given. Frost heads it inside, but only can find Jason Pryor. And there's a good win from Widrington. Plays the ball in, looking for Tolaj. He's got the ball, he's slipped away from Craig. Shoots under, cleared off the line by Isaac Philpott. Mail got enough on it to take some purchase off the shot. And Isaac Philpott cleared it. Should be 2-0. And we'll get Ross's thoughts in just a minute, because they've taken the throw already. Aldershot, half field. Back to Willard. Tolaj won't believe he's not scored there. Here's Barrett with his back to goal, clips the ball in, looking for Frost. And he lifts his shot over. Difficult one to take, skidding across the surface and wide. Ross, coming over to you. Massive chance.
Yeah,
and
huge.
Another massive save from Mail.
And I mean, that's what I was saying earlier. Keeps them in games, and that's exactly what he does. And he is to me been an absolute outstanding player. So how he saved that, I'll never know. But you can see Tolaj opens up to wrap it in the far corner. Harrison reads it, telegraphs it, gets an arm on it, and manages to get enough on it to keep it out, and Isaac to clear. But again, another turnover centrally, ball breaks, Aldershot quick to break with the pace that they've got, and it makes it really, really difficult for Aldershot to defend. They've got to be a lot better when they've got possession, looking at the what if when they do lose the ball. But yeah, straight after the Seb chance, could have scored another two.
Absolutely. It was like everything. Oh, here's Minoga getting away from Pryor, bombing forward. Daly's making the forward run. The pass doesn't find its man, but it runs kindly for shots and for Widrington, who pings it out to the left-hand side, looking for Glover. One in the air by Mewett, who's back there, finds Josh Taylor. Taylor to Cool, who clears forward, and Harries just gently strokes it into the path of Tommy Willard. He's bombing forward now. Plays a ball through, looking for Daly. And he wasn't offside, very nearly got in.
Makes for such an exciting game when nobody cares about transitions and everyone's just happy to sort of just, we win the ball, we lose the ball, we win the ball, lose the ball.
And that's the situation, isn't it? Everybody going.
Such high risk though.
Yeah.
Because like you watch them, I mean, people are watching Man City and you watch the sort of Liverpool game on Sunday. The control of the transitions in that game makes for a really boring spectacle, but both of them are super controlled in it. Here, we're both happy to just break and transition as quick as we can.
Good
like
stuff.
Basketball.
Good stuff there from Ross. Dorking play it forward. Free kick to them just inside the Aldershot town half. Referee also wants a word with Cian Harries. And we're going to go over to Tom at Bromley v Woking, where I think they've got that first goal now.
Yes, and it's gone to Woking. Ricky Corbeau with the goal. It was a really nice switch from Woking. Left to right. Burko played it across to Dan Moss. Right side the penalty area. Hit it across first time. Ricky Corbeau unmarked in the 6-yard area. Just stretched himself towards the ball and kneed it into the back of net. Woking have fought so hard this first half. And they deserve to be in front for their first half efforts here. It's Bromley 0, Woking 1. We're now in first half stoppage time.
Thank you very much. So goals now in all our games. Crawley ahead, Woking ahead, Eastbourne, Worthing and Aldershot ahead, but Dorking are trailing and Farnborough are trailing on your Bank Holiday Sports Special here on BBC Radio Sussex and BBC Radio Surrey. Here's Aldershot looking to counter
again,
now.
Transition again.
With Willard looking to play it to Daly. He's into the penalty area, tries a shot. Well blocked by Aaron Cool. We're going to have 7 added minutes. Dorking clear, only as far as Harries, who doesn't have the touch that he wanted, and he's just had a stern word from the referee prior to that.
Offside.
Offside actually. Just want to check with you, Steve, if I can. Saw as we went over to Bromley, the referee having a long word with Harries. Did the yellow card come out or not?
No, he didn't. I didn't see one. I think the ref was just telling him to mind his. He was getting a bit handsy with Charlie Carter, and just reminding Cian's responsibility as a defender rather than transgressing any laws.
Excellent. Thank you, Steve Gibbs. Back in the action now. We're into the first of 7, a minimum of 7 added minutes. Shots coming forward. Good touch off from Willard to Glover. Glover goes past his man down the left, looks to square it, pull it back. Half cleared, he ends up on the floor. Dawkins should pick it up with Jason Pryor, who's picking the ball up in the right back position. He's had no choice but to come back to get involved and does well under pressure, plays it off of Willard and into touch for a throw-in to Aldershot Town, who lead by 1-0. And from a Dorking point of view, it's bizarre, isn't it? I think everybody on the Dorking side of things will go in thinking, do you know what, it hasn't been a great half, but we're only 1-0 down. And everybody from Aldershot are going to be saying, with all the nearly moments and everything else, we should have put this game to bed.
Yeah, agreed. But like big moments as well. Seb could equalise there, and then obviously Aldershot could go and maybe get the second as well down the end like 2 minutes later. But while they're in it, still being competitive, having moments in the game, which is really, really good.
Is Frost timing his volley well, playing. Oh, lovely touch, almost a lovely touch from Tolaj, but Fuller stayed in the race and he got the vital touch. Here's Craig playing it to Cool, who I've seen play a bit like Pryor, looking more like a centre back or a right back at times.
Yeah, it almost comes like a back four, doesn't it? Baz goes high and sort of Isaac goes a little bit higher.
That's it. Here's the skipper, Craig, coming forward, plays it into Josh Taylor. He pings it out to the left. Tommy Windsor not happy about something. And Josh Taylor, good composure, good pass, lifts it over to Isaac Philpott. What a clearance off the line it was. We saw Tolaj got a good shot in. Glover gives a free kick over on the far side, just inside the Aldershot half, near the right hand or their left hand touchline. As Mayle's save took the pace off Tolaj's shot and it carried on beyond him, it's like time stopped. We're waiting to see if that ball's going to fly in the back of the net, trickle over the line, or be still there to be cleared, and it was the latter.
Strong arm though, isn't it?
Really strong,
mate.
really strong.
Easy not do that or flap at it, and yeah, it's a really, really good save.
Chesterfield have equalised against Kidderminster and it's half time there. Here is Aaron Cool with the free kick into the shots area, headed back across. Really good move as well, from Dorking.
Again.
Yeah, the header, the free kick come in, Fuller headed it back across, and it was Philpott that headed it over the bar. It was a lovely move.
Got to hit the target, hasn't it? I mean, he's about 5-6 yards out for a header, so I'm sure Mark at half time will let them know we've had our chances in this game, and I'm sure we'll get more in the second half. So we've got to remain super positive.
Free kick, a goal kick taken short by Van Stappenschorf to Harfield. Crawley 2-0 up and Woking 1-0 up at Bromley. They're half-time scores now. Reports to come with Tim Durrance once this first half has ended. 3.5 minutes just gone through a minimum of 7 added, but a lot of niggly knocks and injuries to be attended to in the first half. And just that second minute goal. at the moment separates the sides. Josh Barrett with his first shots goal of this spell. Here's Tollage down the left, sends in a cross. Daly can't quite get on it. Back to Frost on the edge, gets a volley in, but it's headed clear. Willard sends it back in. Daly's got it. What a volley! Oh, and what a save again. Harrison Mayle to the rescue. It's Aldershot Town 1, Dorking Wanderers 0, but Harrison Mayle has kept Wanderers in it again, Ross.
Yeah, what a save. What a strike, by the way. He's spinning as well as he sort of chests it down on the edge of the box. He's not even facing goal, and he sort of spins around left foot. Great strike, almost right in the middle of the goal, but good save. Dealt with it well.
Yeah. Ross is absolutely right. Dorking could have levelled a minute ago, but 3 good chances for shots to double their lead. Corner's taken short, played in, and then Aaron Cool clears it away. Willard holds off his man. He feels he's fouled, but he's lost the ball. It's been half cleared. Oh, lovely ping down the line from Frost to Barrett. But Barrett's been outwitted by Taylor, and now he's outwitted Taylor. And now he's up against Bowerman. And a combination of Bowerman and Taylor win the ball, but it breaks clear again. And Barrett finds Glover, who's over in the middle here now. Seems to have done a little swap with Tollage. Harries lifts it over the top. Frost's running for it. He's not going to give up on it, but Harrison Mayle will get there first. And, well, if you were putting together a highlights package from the first half, it would undoubtedly, of course, show Aldershot Town's second-minute goal. It would also show 3 terrific saves from Harrison Mayle. And Dorking probably had the best move of the game, but Philpott couldn't quite finish it. Here's Minoga jumping with Carter. Neither can win it, but Pryor's onto the loose ball. He plays it down the line looking for Bowerman, but Frost battles away and wins it. He gives the ball straight to Josh Taylor. Taylor running into the penalty area, tries a little clip. Frost runs back and puts it behind for the corner, and he'll be grateful. But here we are.
You don't play forward, play sideways.
Yeah, almost into the final minute of the minimum of 7 added, and Wanderers, despite being up against it throughout this first half, have a corner here. And what a fillip it would be for them if they could equalise right on the stroke of half-time. Widgerton not happy about it. Frost has been good, but he literally played that straight to the feet of Josh Taylor. In comes the corner, headed away by Harfield. Craig's up there, tries to send it back in, doesn't get hold of it. Tollage clears it high and long. And Barrett will battle with Mewett and Cool here. And Mewett does well, leaps high, heads it home to Mayle. And Mayle will give it back to Mewett now, who hopefully has had enough of a run since his return to be able to, one of those players, you know, that he gives so much, but you want him to be able to go the distance. We'll look at the other benches at half-time. There's a flick on from Pryor, and it bounces over Frost and Bowerman and into touch. There is the half-time whistle. Right, let's work quickly here. I want a minute from you, Ross, if we can, and a minute from Steve, and then we'll hand back to the studio, maybe even 30 seconds each. 1-0 shots at half-time. Sum that up, Ross.
I think, as expected, Aldershot excellent in transition, attacking transition, playing forward, running with pace, getting in and around Josh Barrett. Obviously, Josh scored nice and early. Lots of chances. I mean, it could easily be 2, 3, 4 for Aldershot if it wasn't for Harrison Mayle. But while it's still 1-0, as Dorking have shown, they can keep the ball, they can move forward well, they can work in and around Jason and get chances of their own. So I think Seb and Isaac will kick themselves that they haven't done better, or certainly at least hit the target. But like I said, I said before the game, it would be a game of turnovers and a game of defensive and attacking transition, and it has pretty much played out exactly like that. And both teams care very little for them, and Aldershot worked very, very well in attacking transition, which makes it really, really difficult for anybody.
Good stuff from Ross McNeely, who I think has transitioned pretty well himself this afternoon from manager at Aldershot to head coach at Dorking, and to our chief summariser alongside Steve Gibbs. Steve, anything you want to add to what Ross has just said?
Not really, but I think Shots could have won it already. They still need that second goal to give them breathing space. Obviously, the fact they haven't got that second goal is huge. Credit to Harrison Mayle for some excellent saves. He's kept Dorking in it. At the other end, yes, you'd say the Wanderers they're lacking in confidence, lacking a little bit of quality in attack, and a more predatory attack could easily have punished Aldershot Town. At 1-0 though, obviously you've got that chance, and a couple of headed chances already, and I think that's probably Dorking's best opportunities. They get lots of crosses into the box, and in Jason Pryor they've got someone who can take a chance, and maybe they're wishing that chance had fallen to him rather than Philpott. But Aldershot Town do like to concede a goal or two, and Dorking do have that quality, particularly aerial ability, and this one's not over yet.
Okay, very quick question, because we do need to hand back to Tim. I'm getting quite a bit on social media about the potential penalty. I've had an Aldershot fan and a Dorking fan message me to say Stonewall penalty. What was your view?
I would agree. My initial reaction was whatever the position of Tommy's body, his arm is away from his body. Whether he's facing the ball or facing away, the position of his arm makes his body mass bigger, and therefore for me that's a penalty.
All right, nice clear decision from Steve Gibbs, but he's not the referee, and the referee didn't give it. It is 1-0 to Aldershot Town at half-time. Back to you, Tim Durrans.
Great stuff from Rob, Ross and Steve. We will go through the other scores in the division, top and bottom of the table in a moment, but let's quickly jump up to League 2. Crawley away to Newport. Good half for Crawley, Gary Smith.
Yeah, fantastic half for Crawley here, Tim. They lead by 2-0 at the break. They were ahead inside the first 60 seconds. Will Wright with the cross in from the right-hand side, volleyed home by skipper Dion Conroy, back in the starting 11 today, and he grabs his first goal of the season, volleying it past the goalkeeper into the bottom corner. Will Evans, the top scorer for Newport, great chance after 14 minutes, one-on-one, but Corriadai kept Crawley in the game with a great save with his legs, and then after 26 minutes they broke away down the left-hand side. Newport appealing for a foul, but Nick Cerula kept going, got to the edge of the box, couple of exchanges of passes, and when it reached the feet of Ronan Darcy, he cut in field and buried a low shot down to the goalkeeper's left-hand side. Then he hit the post, Ronan Darcy, just a couple of minutes later. Lolos had a chance one-on-one. Crawley could have been running riot by now, but then Morris had to he put one wide, just dribbled wide of the post. The best chance that Newport had in terms of a clear-cut chance just 4 minutes before the break, but Crawley do have that 2-goal buffer, because a goal for Newport could have made the second half very, very different and very, very interesting. It's a big 45 minutes ahead here, Tim, for Crawley Town, but at the break they lead. Newport 0, Crawley Town 2.
Gary, thank you. And Sutton United beating Swindon, Scott's old side, 1-0 at half-time. Back into the National League. Key first half for Woking, where to Bromley, Tom Mitchell.
Yeah, most certainly. Half-time, Bromley 0, Woking 1. A job well done from Woking in the first half. The first half hour, there wasn't really too many clear-cut chances at all. The big first chance fell to Bromley, crossing from the left-hand side from Odoteo. Michael Cheek saw it late, and it just came off his right knee wide of the target. A few minutes later, Bromley had a dangerous free kick. Charles lifted over wall just wide of Jaskalainen's post. But in the last minute and all-time in the first half, Kevin Burko made the diagonal switch to Dan Moss at the back post. He hit it across the face of goal, and there was Ricky Corboa, who's been brought to the side today to knee it unmarked in the 6-yard box into the back of net, which send the Woking fans at the other side of the ground into pandemonium at Hayes Lane. So half-time, it is Bromley 0, Woking 1.
Great stuff, thank you, Tom. So at the moment, Crawley are winning, Aldershot are winning, albeit beating Dorking. Woking are winning. How about our sides in National League South? Eastbourne Borough, huge game away to Dartford. Kevin Anderson's made the trip for us to Prince's Park in Kent.
Yeah, it's going well so far. 1-0 the Borough lead, and they're very good value for that. It should really be more, and one hopes they won't live to regret the fact. The goal coming on 18 minutes with Yaya Bamba. Couldn't believe his luck, really. He was on the back post. Big ball came in, looping cross, completely missed by the keeper, landed at Bamba's feet and just popped it into an empty net. Yaya started on the left this afternoon, whereas he's played as a right winger before, but he's caused all sorts of problems for the home defence. His pace, his control, just his unpredictability as well. He's a remarkable player. But Borough played a lot of good football behind the front men. They've kept their nerve. They don't mind playing the triangles, getting themselves out of trouble. And Dartford, by comparison, have been really rather poor. They're big. They're quite quick, and they're quite direct, almost too direct. The only real chance they've had fell to Paul Rooney, a cracking shot, a super shot from about 30 yards, which was going in the top corner, and a lovely save by Harrison Foulkes, who's not the biggest keeper in the world, but goodness, he makes himself about 6'6" at times, and he pushed it away for the corner. So looking good so far for the Borough, but they could do with that second goal. They've had a couple of chances before half-time to extend the lead. 1-0 is sort of the worst score in football in a way, isn't it? I tell you what, it's the worst score at the moment for Farnborough, who are a goal down at Tunbridge Angels, an early strike there. But Worthing are a goal up. Another early goal against Hampton and Richmond. So 2 out of 3 ain't bad, Tim.
Very good, Meatloaf. Thank you very much indeed. So, yes, let's whisper it because there's another 45 to go. But as things stand, Eastbourne Borough would be out of the bottom 4 for the first time in some time. But long way to go in that one. Elsewhere then, a reminder. In the National League, Aldershot winning. Files game with Gateshead, who Gateshead beginning the day 4th. That was postponed. So Aldershot can make grounds on Gateshead. Aldershot can make grounds on Gateshead. 2 of their rivals, 5th place Altrincham lead 9th place Oldham. So that's a pretty good result for Aldershot in terms of giving Oldham below them, and the same as Solihull Moors, who are being held 0-0 at Wealdstone. At the bottom of the table, elsewhere, with Woking winning, Dorking losing, you got Maidenhead losing 2-0 at Eastleigh, Ebbsfleet being held at Dagenham, Bournemouth losing comfortably 3-0 at home to Southend, and Kidderminster led at champions Chesterfield, but Chesterfield levelled at half-time 1-1. Sophie Ellis-Bextor, Murder on the Dance Floor, good afternoon. A Bank Holiday Sports Special where Crawley are leading in League 2 by 2-0, Sutton beating Swindon 1-0. In the National League, Woking are winning 1-0 at Bromley. They are underway in the second half. And in National League South, Worthing and Eastbourne Borough winning, Farnborough 1-0 down, all those games 1-0. Let's return to our commentary game with an open line. We have, of course, this afternoon to all our other games. Rob Worrell alongside the former Dorking coach and Aldershot manager Ross McNeely and Steve Gibbs.
Thank you very much indeed, Tim. So we're just awaiting the arrival of the teams for the second half here, and we'll go as soon as we can in the second half. Yeah, that's fine. Let's while we're waiting the teams, let's nip over to Tom and see if he's got much to tell us about the second half. Bromley and Woking, terrific half-time lead for Woking. Tom, any changes at half-time? Any changes to the scoreline?
It's still Bromley 0, Woking 1 with 2.5 minutes into the second half. Bromley have ran the changes with Taylor Hart and Davis coming on. As a Woking, they remain unchanged and no real clear-cut chances in the second half so far. Bromley just knocking the ball out in front of halfway, but again, Woking's shape off the ball has been terrific today. They've been so hard to break down. So yeah, just early stages of the second half. Woking still leading by goal to 0 here at Hayes Lane.
Go for it, quick, 1 minute. Brilliant stuff. Thank you very much indeed, Tom. So yeah, I want to give the news here of the attendance and perhaps get the thoughts of Steve Gibbs when I read it out as well. Thanks, Steve, for supplying the number, which hasn't been announced, I don't think, to the EBB Stadium yet. But 4,262 with a highly creditable 331 Dorking Wanderers fans. Steve, the second biggest league crowd of the season, the third of the season. Of course, Stockport had 4,700. Woking had 5,900, didn't it? But an incredible turnout, and particularly as well given Friday's result against Maidenhead. The fan base knows now that this Aldershot Town team can bounce back.
Absolutely, yeah. It's huge credit that they have given such a strong first half performance that probably should have earned more than one goal. But the fact that they bounced back from that thrashing at Maidenhead, that the fans know that the home form is excellent, that this team bounces back. And Tommy did say to me a couple of weeks ago, it's not the long winning runs that are important, it's the short losing runs that are more important.
Very good.
Aldershot haven't gone on a long losing run pretty much all season. And on a bank holiday, decent weather, coming to the business end of the season, almost 4,000 home fans is huge credit to what Tommy has achieved here. That just a year ago, the fans were still a little bit sceptical, keeping their powder dry, waiting to see what might happen. And now they voted with their feet, voted with their money, that they're on board. That to them, for Tommy Widrington, it's a big yes. And that's superb to see. That Aldershot Town this season, and this was before what everyone of a shot's persuasion hopes is 3 points this afternoon. Aldershot Town have already won more games and earned more points at home this season than in the last 2 seasons combined. And that's why Shots fans are coming out in their droves.
Brilliant stuff there from Steve Gibbs. We're close to kick-off here, but I think we might have time just to squeeze in a quick update with Gary Smith. Newport against Crawley.
Saturday afternoon. Here's Palmer Holden. Good sliding challenge comes in from Dion Conroy.
Yeah, we've got to work hard at the back, Gary.
We've played just over 6 minutes of the second half here, and it's still Crawley Town leading by 2-0. No real chances of note in the second half. No changes either. 2 players just had to go off because of a head injury, but the referee allowing them back on, and nothing really of any note, which I think will suit Crawley Town at the present time. And the goals by Conroy and by Darcy in the first half are what give the Reds the advantage. Newport 0, Crawley Town 2, 51 minutes played.
Thank you very much, Gary. We're underway here in the second half. Aldershot Town 1, Dorking Wanderers 0. A half-time change for Dorking Wanderers as Alfie Rutherford comes on for Luke Moore. An early attack from Dorking is thwarted by a combination of Harries and Minoga. Minoga's just had a blow to his back or kidneys. Harrison Mayo clears his lines, and that's troubling Minoga. That's still troubling, and basically Aldershot Town are down to their last 3 fit and available centre-backs now. Dylan Kadji suspended for this game only. Christian Makoma probably for 3 games. And here's Tolaj on the ball. Monoga's carrying on. He looks okay. He's not gone down needing treatment anyway. Aldershot continue the attack on the left side. Barrett to Harfield. Harfield sends the cross in, and it's out into touch for a throw into Shots, and we're rejoined by Ross McNeely. We'll get his thoughts on the half-time Dorking sub in a minute, which I'll tell him what that was. Rutherford for Moore.
Yeah.
Okay, cross comes in from the left. Oh, Daly can't quite get his shot away, and that allows Tony Craig to clear into a space on the left, which is picked up by Charlie Carter. Full of running. He's already over halfway. Frost just trying to cut down the distance at the minute, not the man. He's closed down now finally. Carter to the edge of the penalty area, trying to come across it, make room for a shot. He squares it for Mewett. Mewett shoots, and unfortunately for Mewett, doesn't get the deflection that he got at Meadowbank earlier in the season. In truth, he's not going to get one up there near the scoreboard, is it? But as Jimmy Mewett would say from the game at Meadowbank earlier in the season, if you don't shoot, you don't score, do you?
No, you do not. You do not. So we got Charlie Carter dropping into centre field and Rutherford up top. That'll be interesting. So now you've got a very offensive midfield with Dorking having Josh Taylor and Charlie Carter, who literally just will think about running forward.
And they've got to, really, isn't it? As you said, even a point might not be enough for Dorking today.
But you're worrying about turnovers, and then it just to make things a little bit easier, we'll put pretty much two number 10s together in midfield.
Ball lifted over the top from Harfield, who's still on the floor, and appeals for the free kick, which is belatedly given by referee Richie Watkins. So yeah, so many games at Aldershot at the EBB this season have been end to end. This one was probably always destined to be anyway, because both sides so desperate for a win. Ball lifted over the top. Minoga takes it down nicely inside the penalty area, goes down. I think he's stumbled. Yeah, nothing given. Dorking clear. Frost can't get hold of it. Charlie Carter can, and he's working his way down the left side now, still inside his own half, holding it up, turns inside. Not the best pass, but Rutherford picks it up in plenty of space in the centre of midfield, and feeds Isaac Philpott. Philpott to Mewett. Mewett's twisted and turned and beaten Glover. Harfield's cleared down the line, and it's in touch. Widrington rolls it back gently and carefully. No touchline ban today for Widrington. I don't know how it works with the managers, but he got a yellow in the game and then a red on full time at Maidenhead. And maybe it's bank holiday weekend, the FA haven't sat yet. I don't know how it works.
He's risen again. We have I have no idea how it works. I think I have him with Mark. Mark will set him against Oldham.
Yeah.
And no, I've not a clue really, unless it's a peel or something.
Yeah, it might be. Here's a throw in from Taylor. Harfield will win the header, but he can only head it back to Taylor. Taylor's going to get his cross in now. He looks to. It's almost cut out by Harries. Harries does really well just to poke a foot on it. Oh, lovely touch round the corner from Lauren Tolaj to feed Tommy Willard. He's got Barrett making way on the outside of him. He has to step back as Barrett is shut down by Fuller and goes to Tyler Frost. So we're in the 50th minute here, and you're listening to Bank Holiday Sports Special on BBC Radio Sussex and BBC Radio Surrey. Crawley are ahead at Newport. Woking are ahead at Bromley. Eastbourne are ahead at Dartford. Worthing are ahead at home to Hampton, Rich and Borough. But Farnborough are trailing at Tunbridge, and of course Dorking Wanderers are trailing here. Ball's in touch, over away to our left. It's gone behind the goal at the East Bank end, where the extended section of Aldershot Town supporters will be hoping to see something ripple the net in front of them in the second half. But if Aldershot are going to score again, the first thing they've got to do is beat Harrison Mail. There's another poor pass across the goal, but Mail puts his foot through it out to the left-hand side. And the header from Dorking does eventually find Craig. Willard wins it, loses it, wins it back again. Frost sends it down the right, it's too strong, and it will go all the way through to Harrison Mail. But the overwhelming thought, still, 5 minutes into the second half, is that largely down to this man, Harrison Mail, Dorking Wanderers are still in this game. There's a good jump from Pryor, and he knocks it into a bit of space for Cool. Sweeps it out to the left-hand side to Bowerman. Bowerman going up against Frost. Frost does really well to block the cross and puts it behind for a corner to Dorking. And in amongst that big management team at Dorking, have they got a set piece coach? You haven't they?
Yeah, they do, yeah. So Carl and James will do defensive set pieces, and Carl will do attacking offensive set pieces. So
in comes the corner. Van Stappershoef grabs it, and for once the team haven't put a player on Van Stappershoef, so he's free to get it, and he's rolled it out to Tolaj. Tolaj skips inside of Taylor and slots it to Frost on the right hand side. He's into the penalty area, tries a shot. Oh, and another incredible save, Harrison Mail. Well, I was going to say having the game of his life, but he's been doing it all season, Ross.
He literally has been doing it all season. It is the norm. Yeah, again, Tolaj ball carrier wins a 1v1 straight away. The picture goes from being a 4v4 to sort of a 4v3, because he manages to dominate that 1v1 centrally. So then finds Tyler out wide and probably should shoot more across. Good height for Harrison, good save.
Okay, Glover's going to take the corner for Aldershot. I think he's going to set up and take it short. He does. He goes to Barrett. Barrett gives it to Willard, holds it up just on the edge of the penalty area. Goes back now to Glover. Glover up against Cool. He's going to take him on. Can he get the ball in? He can to the far post. Minoga heads it back across. Tolaj can't get good contact on it. Comes back to Minoga. He can't get good contact on it. Frost takes it nicely under control. Gets the ball back from Widrington to the byline, pulls it back, cleared away by Tony Craig, and behind for another corner, and the shots are cranking up the pressure, Ross. 52 and a half minutes gone. Shots 1, Dorking 0. Quick word?
Yeah. I mean, it's very exciting, and this idea of just attacking and being really offensive. I mean, I know Theo's coming for a bit of stick, but without Theo having that balance centrally, it wouldn't allow everyone to go and do what they need to go and do. I think he's been very disciplined in terms of looking after the sort of like back three and staying at home. So
Harris is going to send a ball into the area here. It's headed away again by Craig, only as far as Barrett. Barrett's got Glover there for support. End-to-end stuff, breathless stuff here. Glover with the ball into the feet of Daly inside the area. He tries to turn, can't pull it off, and then it's put behind for another corner to Aldershot Town. And Steve will give me the fingers. How many corners is that now? It's the third. Well, it's the third one, isn't it, of the second half of the shots. Had at least a couple in the first half as well. Red Army is the shout of the East Bank. The red and blue wall across 3/4 of the East Bank. Anyway, that'll be extended to the whole East Bank for the next game, the final home game against Boreham Wood, which is live on TV as well. Ball still played short from the corner to Frost. Frost tries to send it in. It's well blocked by Josh Taylor. But it drops at the feet of Tolaj, outside the area. He's got a couple of Dorking players in front of him, so he turns back to Frost. Frost back to Harries, and Aldershot just building a little bit more patiently now. Just trying to work out where the spare man is. They probably need a little bit better movement. It's a little bit static. 54 minutes gone. Ball forward from Widrington. Falls the deflection kindly for Daly. Turns it back to Frost. Frost will feed it to Minoga. Minoga is tackled by Carter. Carter's won it really well and turns one way, then the other. Goes back to Fuller, who has to run back towards goal. But terrific work there from Charlie Carter. He does look to me to be one of the fittest and most athletic and younger Dorking players that looks ready to go the distance, doesn't he, Charlie Carter?
Yeah, he's excellent. I mean, his work rate, but I mean, he's a very intelligent player, very good 1v1 player. Drops really, really deep. He's almost like that sort of creative 10, but scores goals as well. He's been a great addition for Dorking.
Ball lifted over the top from Harry's, goes all the way back to Mail.
Just getting that balance right, though, isn't it? I mean, you look at the balance of Aldershot is almost perfect with youth and energy and with the creativity and experience. And
Glover heads the ball into touch right in front of ourselves here in the media box in the north stand. 55 minutes gone. Aldershot Town 1, Dorking Wanderers 0. But the game's on a little bit of a knife edge. Aldershot have had plenty of opportunities, at least 4 now. Clear-cut efforts, really well hit as well. Somebody from Aldershot's point of view probably needs to scuff one to get one in, because Harrison Mail's reading them and he's saving them despite the accuracy of the shots and despite the power on them. We've got other goals elsewhere. Southend 4, Borehamwood 1. 75 goals conceded by Borehamwood, a side who used to get the most clean sheets in the division. Chesterfield 1, Kidderminster 3. Chesterfield clearly on the beach. That's saying that all managers hate. But here's Willard winning the ball's lost out though to Carter, who read what he was going to do with it. Run into the edge of the area, sends it out to the left to Bowerman. Bowerman collects the ball just inside the penalty area. He's running across now, looking for a bit of support. He gets that support from Barry Fuller. Back onto his right foot, little clipped ball into the area. Headed away by Glover, only as far as Tolaj, who heads it inside. Taylor reads that one well, but misplaces his pass and gives it to Barrett. Barrett sends it out to the right-hand side, and he's got that one wrong. Aldershot could have been in there.
Yeah, I thought it was a wait for Tolaj to get past him, wasn't it?
Exactly. Wait for Tolaj and then send him through, but didn't work like that. And Dorking go again. This game, I'm going to say, I was going to say it's going to get stretched, but let's be honest, Ross, it's stretched. It's already stretched, isn't it? Ball out to the right-hand side now.
Oh yeah, it's an absolute lack of. we don't want to defend, or we don't want to think about defending. When we've got possession, we just want to score. It's almost a bit like kids' footy. It's brilliant. Makes for great entertainment.
Yeah, free kick to Tolaj right in front of us here in the north stand. And the shots are no doubt on it today. They weren't on it at Maidenhead on Friday. They weren't allowed to be on it. Maidenhead used every trick in Dev's book, and they used it superbly. Today, the shots have scored early on, and they've dominated, but they've not been able to put Wanderers to bed. And it is Mark White's men who stay in this game just a goal down, thanks to the brilliant goalkeeping of Harrison Mail. And Steve Gibbs away to our right isn't doing a non-league paper match report today, but if he was, I think you'd have Mr. Mail shoehorned in for the man of the match already, wouldn't you?
It is already, yeah. He's on the wrong side of the scoreline at the moment, but he is the game's pivotal figure, because without him, Aldershot Town would be home and dry, and as if Dorking didn't have enough problems to face from this Aldershot Town attack. Josh Barrett, who's been excellent this afternoon, is coming off. And now Josh Stokes, the Golden Boy, the Bristol City boy, and with coming on to possibly with a point to prove.
A point to prove, I'm sure, absolutely. To be fair, I didn't think he was one of the worst ones at Maidenhead on Friday.
Well, we managed to keep him quiet at Dorking.
You did.
We had Dan Pybus, who almost sort of worked around him and made it really difficult for him.
Certainly did. His Harfield
be angry.
Crossing from the left and headed away by Fuller. It was the second attempt. Harfield wins it. Oh, I thought he got his foot right clearly onto the ball there, but the referee disagrees. The majority of the North Stand here disagree with them, but they would, because they're Aldershot. And it is a free kick to Dorking Wanderers, halfway inside their own half on the right-hand side. We're in the 59th minute here. Not too long now before we go back to our other games, our featured games, of course. Bromley against Woking, Newport against Crawley. We can't have 100% wins today, unfortunately, in the Surrey and Sussex area, because two of the teams right here are playing each other. Let's go, if we can, if he's ready, to Gary at Newport. Newport 0, Crawley 2 was our last update. Gary, any change to that?
scoreline at all, Rob. No, Dion Conroy just had a bit of an anxious moment when he went down, looking like he'd sustained a little bit of an injury. He's been out for the last few weeks, but luckily the skipper was able to get himself back on his feet. Newport attacking down that right-hand side, though. Crawley have done well to sort of keep them an arm's length so far. They've not been anywhere near as offensive as they were in the opening stages of the first half, and they've kept the crowd quiet as well. And I haven't got anything of note written down in my notebook for the second half, Rob, as the ball's played back towards the edge of the penalty area. Crawley just about get it clear, and they are still 2 goals ahead here, Rob. It's Newport 0, Crawley Town 2.
Thank you very much. So Crawley still 2 up at Newport. Attacking throw in now to Aldershot. So if when we get a moment, we'll go to Tom at Bromley against Woking, but the throw-in's taken short. Stokes has turned his man, but he's turned too far. He's turned into trouble. He's lost out to Cool. And Rutherford's picked the ball up. Here's a nice transition. He's got Carter inside of him. And can Minoga get there before Carter? Yes, he can. Terrific challenge, and it was needed. He got the ball, but he's only temporarily slowed Dorking down. They're still coming down the left side with Josh Taylor. Aldershot almost get a foot in, but it breaks clear to Bowerman. Bowerman finds Fuller just inside the penalty area on the left side, goes back to Bowerman. Clip cross comes in, headed away by Harries. And Daly might get off his man to be able to hold this one up here. He does, and it's knocked into touch by Dorking. Defensive half throw into Aldershot. So before we go back to Ross again, let's go over to Tom Mitchell. Bromley against Woking on a knife edge. Last time we heard 1-0 to Woking. How's it going now, Tom?
It's still Bromley 0, Woking 1, just over 66 minutes played here at Hayes Lane with the sun shining down again. Woking defending really well. In fact, into last Willis, it's Woking who's actually had the best moments coming forwards on the counter. The best of them came from a Burko cross from the left-hand side. He was searching for Dan Moss, but Idris Odotayo, the left wing back of Bromley, just got there in the neck of time to head it away. But again, Woking defending so well, nullifying the likes of Michael Cheek. So again, the away side at the moment defending really well, solid and compact. So Bromley 0, Woking 1, 66 minutes played.
Thank you very much, Tom. Here's Tolaj sending it out to the right-hand side to Frost, takes the ball nicely, and he goes through on goal. And just before he can pull the trigger, Bowerman pokes it behind for Aldershot Town's 5th corner, I think, now of the second half. And Stokes is going over to take it with Glover. And when they set up like that, they usually go short. But of course they could throw the odd one in there where they do send it all the way in. And it's a bit of a 4,200 in the ground, but there's a bit of tension in here, isn't there? There's not a lot of noise. People are waiting to see what happens next here. After all Harrison Mayles saves, do Dorking go and get themselves an equaliser? Tom Blair is coming on. And Seb Bowman is going off on the far side in front of the Dorking fans. And Tom Blair has shown at times this season that he can drift onto the ball and finish with aplomb, can't he? He's done it many times.
Yeah, he's a good match winner, and that's what he really is, really. I mean, he can score, he can get assists, but he can float in and out of games a little bit, and that's where he can frustrate. And he's defensively, he needs to work on his little bit out of possession game. But yeah, he's been excellent this season in terms of winning games and getting points on the board for Dorking. Some great goals, by the way.
Glover took the corner short with Stokes, but Aldershot quickly lost possession, and Dorking Wanderers have cleared their lines towards touchline. It's getting better for some of our local sides this afternoon. Farnborough 1-0 down at Tunbridge at the break, have scored twice. They're now 2-1 up.
There you go, 1v1.
And here's Glover one-on-one against Muir in the air, skips to his right, gets room for the shot, and it smashes into the side netting. He really caught it well. It was a blistering shot, but it was just no more than a foot or so wide of the mark. And on this occasion, Harrison Mayle not required a cracking strike again, but just a foot or so wide.
Yeah, he sort of strikes across it, doesn't he? I think he scored the other week from that as well, where, like, I mean, normally you would strike over it and try and get it in the far corner and make the goalie make a save, but because he strikes sort of across it, it's sort of that reverses back into the sort of near corner, sort of hit the side netting closest to him, which is just interesting way of striking it. It sort of catches Harrison Mayle a little bit off guard as well. Naturally, you'd wrap it there.
Yeah. Minoga onto the throw, clears it forward up in the air, and Tolaj should be able to compete with Craig. Craig under pressure. He just felt Tolaj's hand on his shoulder. I'm here, and he has to head it behind the goal for another corner. And listen to this crowd.
62.
331 away supporters. Possibly, not officially, but possibly the second most ever away support for Dorking.
2-3-1.
3-3-1.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah,
that's
fantastic.
really good.
Yeah, corner taken short from Stokes, and he's given it straight to Tom Blair. Headed away, cleared away, sorry. Frost sends it back in. A little slight foul from Tolaj on Craig, and Craig takes the free kick quickly. James Daly blocks it, and Tony Craig's pulled out the old boys trick there. I don't think referees did that anymore, but he took it quickly, smashed it into Daly, and Daly picks up a yellow card for shots. Yeah. Mail takes the free kick. Pryor heads on. Harries heads away. Stokes takes down. Plays the ball down the right, off of Cool.
There was a period not so long ago where Aldershot nearly got caught 1v2 with Hadji, and Hadji, the importance of having 1v1 defenders, having pace, having people who can deal with those situations, and a 1v2, and to deal with it the way he did was excellent, because it could quite easily, obviously, Charlie Carter running outside being a one-on-one.
Yep. For all Aldershot's dominance and the extra chances and the brilliant saves from Mail, Dorking periodically, every 15 minutes or so, have had a key chance. It could be level. Here's Glover looking to do the overlap with Harfield, who doesn't give up the lost cause but can't keep the ball in play, and comes back down the side. It'll be a throw in to Dorking, halfway inside their own half. Jimmy Mewett leaves it for Isaac Philpott, another one who's come back into the equation for Dorking. Decent looking bench for Dorking Wanderers as well today. Obviously, two of them are on now in Fuller and Rutherford. They've still got Hayden Hollis. They're all on, aren't they? Tom Blair's on. So he's gone early, hasn't he? 24 minutes left now, and Dorking Wanderers haven't got another injury in them, have they? Because all three subs used already, Ross. And that,
yeah, they'll be fine.
Yeah,
they'll be fine.
Yeah.
I mean, they're still in the game. I'm sure they'll get another chance, or there'll be something that comes up for them. So just important that they stay positive. And since the early goal of the
referee having a word with Tommy Widrington, who's largely stayed off his back today, but just needs to calm down. Throw-in taken down the line, cleared away by Glover. Widrington looked to hook it forward. He might have a little bit of cramp himself now. Dorking have got it. It's Blair running across the goal, has a little shot, half cleared, and then taken down nicely by Minoga. And he clears it forward, looking for Tolaj. He's given it. He's missed it, and then Stokes is battling away with Cool, and he's maybe held off a little bit off the ball. And then Minoga is fouled. You see the benefit, don't you, with the likes of Willard and Cool, Ross, of having those players out on loan. Sometimes they do get called back and straight into the starting lineup, and that's happened for both of those centre midfielders. Cool for Dorking and Willard for shots.
Yeah, so we call Tommy a centre midfielder, obviously, but ultimately, Aaron's been excellent this game. He's the only one who sort of puts out fires, and again, sort of similar to Theo on the other side, where he has that discipline to look after, sort of sit in front of the back three. But yeah, he's had a good game, Aaron. He's covered round well, and he's certainly a good example where he's covered round when Josh Stokes running him behind. So yeah, it's good to see him back in the Dorking shirt. And
so Theo Widrington still receiving treatment, which allows me to just build on that point that you've just made. Some of the listeners might not realise Tommy Willard has generally always been a striker. He was in his initial 15, 20, 30 appearances for Aldershot Town, but Tommy Widrington found a place for him earlier in the season in the centre of midfield, and frankly it's the only position he's been able to get in the team for Aldershot this season. He's an adaptable player, isn't he? He's had to learn a new position, and while he's been frustrated at times this season, not getting in and being sent out on loan, here you see the fruits of the labour. Yeah, you do. Exactly. I mean, he has had a good game. I've obviously flippantly said that he wasn't a centre midfielder. He is someone who can adapt, and he's well schooled at Southampton, and obviously come then with our academy. But I mean, it must be difficult for him. You think about he's been at Worthing, whatever. He's just recently played out wide. Plays out wide on the left at Worthing, which is where he prefers playing, and then he's got to come back and do a completely different role in a different side altogether. But
his ability to break and his ability to run with the ball and beat people 1v1 centrally is a really, really good characteristic to have in this side. Certainly with people like Theo in and around him as well. So yeah.
Okay, so Theo Idrington coming off, having a little bit of a chat with his dad, who's pulled him back now and has a word in his ear. And one of the few times we've seen any issues between father and son this season. Kwame Thomas is coming on for him. Josh Stokes, who was in the number 10, has to drop straight into the centre of midfield now alongside Willard. And I believe, before we get going again, our producer said we got another goal. Where was it, please, Tim? It's at Crawley. Newport against Crawley. Gary Smith.
Yeah, it is now Newport County 0, Crawley Town 3, Rob. The Whites of Crawley at it again on the road. It's been a little bit of a duller second half than it was in the first half, but after 68 minutes, a free kick on the far side. Lawrence Maguire timed his run brilliantly to get behind the Newport County defence. Thought he was going to head it goalwards, but he stretched and volleyed it right into the top corner. Goalkeeper got a hand to it, but couldn't keep it out. Crawley at it again on the road. They lead here at Newport with 75 minutes gone by 3-0, Rob.
Thank you very much. Terrific afternoon for Crawley then, down in South Wales. 3-0 up at Newport in League 2. Here at the EBB, it's still finely balanced. The shots with a slender lead, which they've had for 68 minutes now. Yeah, we've had 70 minutes gone. Here's Kwame Thomas battling away for the ball. Throw-in is off him, so to Dorking Wanderers. And you wouldn't have thought probably 10, 12, 15 minutes in that this game would still be 1-0. Aldershot was so dominant early on, but Dorking have stayed in this game and done really well to get to this point. They have used all 3 subs. There's Philpott clearing the ball long and out to the left-hand side, and Rutherford might keep this in, he does.
Offside.
He's done well and plays it back to Blair. Blair with a deep cross in. Harfield heads away, and Tommy Willard might be favourite to get there. No, Charlie Carter is. Not heavy first touch, plays it then off Willard. Willard inside to Harfield, well positioned, plays it up to Lauren Tolaj, who's fouled by Cool. And I would have thought Aaron Cool must be close to the referee's yellow at this point. He's given a few away, hasn't he? But he's been a terrific contender. You know, he's come back off loan from Farnborough, isn't it, in the National League South, and he's literally at the fulcrum of the Dorking Wanderers team now, isn't he? Yeah.
Well, he's almost you've almost got this sort of like Willard and Stokes and Tolaj midfield against the sort of Carter, Josh Taylor, Cool midfield. He's almost like really the only holding midfielder on the pitch.
Worthing have doubled their lead. I'm not sure if I told you that, against Hampton and Richmond, so it's going well for our sides of the National League South. There's a knockdown by Kwame Thomas. It breaks free to Daly, but Harrison Males
advantage from it as well.
Harrison Males quickly off his line and feeds Philpott, sends the ball into the right hand channel. Alfie Rutherford chasing after it, squares it across. Minoga, so well positioned and so quick, plays the ball up to Kwame Thomas. Neither he or Fuller can win it. They were too busy out-nousing each other, weren't they? And they go the ball all the way back to Harrison Mail. And still we have, despite the huge crowd here, 4,262 with 331 Dorking Wanderers fans, we still have a really tense atmosphere here. But long ball forward, Van Stappershoef should catch, drops it but catches it again, drops it in fairness under pressure, and now Haji Minoga has gone down. And he's had those frequent trips abroad, hasn't he, to play for Tanzania. He's then been suspended. He's gone off on another trip to Tanzania, and he's saying to the referee, it's okay, I don't need treatment. And that's a relief for him and a relief for Aldershot Town. Steve, if I can go to Steve on this one, because bit by bit, one by one, and largely through indiscipline more than anything, Steve, Aldershot are running out of centre-backs.
They are, unfortunately, yeah. I think maybe Stuart O'Keefe could be pressed into service as an emergency centre-back, but yeah, Aldershot Town are down to bare bones in that position, and Hadji has proved his worth this afternoon, not just in his defensive qualities, but that 1 against 2 which he came out on top of was a crucial interjection, but also his athleticism in launching attacks from the back. It's something that has been a key feature of Aldershot Town's play this season, and now James Daly's in.
He's trying to get in, he's poked it towards goal, and it's side netting again. An Aldershot appeal for something more, but they're not going to get it. Referee Richie Watkins has given a goal kick I think Daly's looked really explosive at times today. And on that right side this time, allowing Tolaj to play in his stronger left side, they look like a 2 to me today. They've really played well for the shots without actually being able to deliver a goal between them. Charlie Carter's got it again, perhaps the most impressive outfield player for Dorking Wanderers today. No one's going to take the mantle off Harrison Mayle for potentially match-saving saves if Dorking can score themselves a goal. Without that, it'll all be to no avail. The sun comes out here again at the EBB. We're in the 75th minute now, so just 15 left, plus whatever referee Richie Watkins adds on. We're going to have a big kick from Mayle out to the right-hand side. Glover can't win it cleanly in there, and it goes inside to Rutherford. Rutherford battling away, Harfield at the back of him, gives it to Mewett. Mewett shoots, it's half cleared, and then it's followed up again. Second shot by Alfie Rutherford, and it's in the net. Scrappy moment at the back for shots. Dorking got the deflections that they worked hard for, and Alfie Rutherford has got the goal. 75 minutes gone. Aldershot Town 1, Dorking Wanderers 1.
I mean, that's come from obviously a Harrison Mayle direct ball into Jimmy Mewett. Jimmy's flicked it on, and a bit of uncertainty in the back three, and Alfie's run onto it like Alfie does in behind, gets onto it, and obviously finished it in off a block shot as well. I think who got that finish? Rutherford got the finish.
Yeah.
After Jimmy's blocked shot.
That's it. You got it. Rutherford with the goal. Rutherford, who started a lot of games recently, and been hauled off quite early on in the game or at half-time. He's come off the bench today, and he's given Dorking a lead. And we've called it so many times.
What happens when you don't take your chances, though, isn't it? Like,
yeah, absolutely.
So many chances.
Yeah.
And been so great to watch. And now there's such an imbalance in midfield.
Right, here's the ball up towards Tolaj, then Daly, but Craig gets there first ahead of Daly.
The irony now is we've gone from a balanced Aldershot to now an imbalanced Aldershot because of all the changes, and the team with the balance is Dorking.
Yeah,
they've got Cool on the pitch, they've got a balanced midfield, and they've still got the back three. So like now it seems almost like the ascendancy is a little bit back with Dorking, and certainly been on the pitch in the last sort of 5 or 10 minutes.
Quick word from Steve on the Dorking. Goal.
Yeah, I think reward for them their stickability, really, that Harrison Mayle has kept them in it. Aldershot should be out of sight, but a little bit of a defensive mix-up for the shots, but huge credit to Dorking for finding a way to get a goal. And at the moment, they're, well, probably including injury time, they're less than 20 minutes away from what could be a hugely valuable and improbable point.
And the doubts creep in again for Aldershot Town, who've been in a playoff position since January, and they're now 3 without a win and been pegged back 15 minutes from time. It would be their second consecutive home draw if it stays like this. Who knows, it could be a precious point for Dorking Wanderers. In terms of the threat from just behind them today in the table, well, Halifax have been thwarted by the weather. But in the other game when we last looked, Oldham were trailing 1-0 at Altrincham. That's still the score after 87 minutes. Foul throw. A throw into Aldershot on the left-hand side. We'll nip over really quickly, if we can, please, to Tom Mitchell. Bromley against Woking.
In the corner kick. It's still Bromley 0, Woking 1, but Woking really putting on the pressure, trying to get the second goal. Charlie Kendall with a snapshot a moment ago, forcing Lewis Thomas into a save. A minute before, Jane Luca had a scuffed effort towards goal as well. So it's actually Woking putting on the pressure here on Bromley, trying to get that second goal. It's Bromley 0, Woking 1. We have just over 6 minutes to go at Hayes Lane.
Thank you very much. So 6 minutes left there, Woking with a slender lead. Aldershot had a slender lead, but it's gone in the 75th minute. And all those brilliant saves from Harrison Mayle might be enough to secure the Wanderers a point, or maybe more here. There's a big leap from Kean Harries. Ball played up to Kwame Thomas. He feels he's fouled, nothing given. Is the pendulum swinging towards the Wanderers? Never write off the Wanderers is the catchphrase, and you can't do it. They wouldn't lay down. Their noses were bloodied, literally, in Barry Fuller's case. And here's Carter battling away for the ball going in. Oh, he should have scored.
Should be 2-1.
Saved by the feet of Jordi van Stapperschurf. Stokes and Frost exchange passes, and now Aldershot might counter. Massive moment in the game for Dorking there, but Aldershot now counter. They're down to the other end at the East Bank. Willard's got it, sends it inside to Stokes, turns, shoots and shoots wide. Dragged his shot wide, and Aldershot found wanting in front of goal this afternoon. Stokes can't add to his tally of 18 goals. And what a minute there. Ross, talk us through it.
Charlie Carter, I mean, in terms of joining the play and getting in the box and creating chances from a deep lying position is exceptional. Just his finishes let him down a couple of times this season. He's missed some big chances, and obviously the one is there. I said they'll get good chances.
Shots have won it again. Frost coming down the right side, squares it. Tolaj goes in with an effort, but he pings it wide, and it will be a goal kick to Dorking. Sorry to cut you off.
No worries. I mean, I tell you what, since that sort of missed Glover chance, Dorking have really come into the game, and you'd argue obviously they've scored, and that's one of the best chances of the game. That one of the most clear cut. Should score, really.
As it stands, Aldershot would still remain in a playoff position, 3 points ahead of Halifax, though, who would have two games in hand. Oldham would.
What is interesting as well, I mean, obviously Dorking renowned from playing out. They've been going long from Harrison, certainly the last 5 or 10 minutes, and they've won territory, and they've looked at that. Playing it to Pryor, they're getting turnovers higher up the pitch. Certainly not saying it's something that we need to do long term, but they've had a lot more success off going long from Harrison. They actually scored from it, so something they need to really probably continue in these last 10 minutes.
I think we all said quite clearly at half time Aldershot should have had the game won. Early on in the second half, Tyler Frost let fly at the East Bank end where he's never scored and he desperately wants to score. And Harrison Mail made what perhaps for me was the best save of the game so far. And Dorking have hung in. They play a free kick out to the left-hand side. Pryor heads it on, but it goes behind the goal. It will be a goal kick to the shots.
Pryor's really come into the game, hasn't he, because of that directness. And you're seeing a lot of play around him.
Absolutely. He wasn't able to do any better there. We've seen him pick up the ball in the left side and the right side and not be where you'd want him to be in the middle waiting for crosses, but here's Van Stappershoef with the kick. Can Aldershot find a late winner? Last 9 minutes now plus added time, or can Dorking get away with a point or three? Minoga goes back to Van Stappershoef. He clears forward. Coming together, Philpott can't quite clear it properly. Mewett hooks it forward up towards halfway. Ollie Harfield's seen it. He's got the header in. Back towards Cool. Good touch from Daly to nick the ball. Willard spreads it to Tolaj. Touches it to Stokes. Stokes back to Tolaj. He's got Frost on the outside of him, but he comes forward. Strokes it to Daly on the edge of the area. Goes back to Willard. Good movement. Good interplay from the shots. Now out to Glover on the left-hand side. Glover back on his right foot. Cross comes in. Little double deflection. And then hit over the bar. Incredibly from James Daly from 6 yards out. In truth, he swung his leg and volleyed it. But the goal was gaping. And somehow he lifted it a foot over the bar. And it remains 1-1. Ross, what a miss.
I mean, Mark White was smiling there. And I do not know how he has not scored there. I think you said someone needs to scuff it or sort of mishit it. He gets under it, hits it too cleanly, and it goes over. Must be 3 yards out, open goal.
Yeah.
And it's off a mistake from Harrison as well. And I don't know whether that's a Sun issue or whatnot, but he sort of flapped at it a little bit and parried it out straight out into Daly.
Here's Daly, little touch around the corner looking for Willard, but it's not anywhere near
1-1, by the way.
Strong enough.
Should be about 5-5.
Should have been a lot more goals in this. Aldershot have won it. The transition's on. Frost bombing forward. Tolaj on the right of him. Stokes on the left. Tolaj keeps it in down by the byline. Can he get a cross in? There's bodies in there. He sends it back over looking for Willard. It's one in the air by Carter. Stokes battles away with Josh Taylor, and he doesn't like the fact that the referee's given the free kick, but he has to accept it. And Dorking take it quickly and send it out to the left-hand side to Barry Fuller. Both sides desperate for 3 points. 1-1 going into the last 6.5 minutes here. Cross in from the left from Dorking. Pryor's up, gets the header. Headed away by Minoga. The referee spots a foul. Free kick to Aldershot Town, and we can all catch our breath again. Bank holiday sports special here on BBC Radio Sussex and Surrey. Largely a good day for our sides. but not everybody can win, and the shots and Dorking are level here. Kwame Thomas heads that one on. It'll bounce harmlessly all the way back to Harrison Mail. Back on Wednesday, Sussex Sport will return with live comms of Brentford against Brighton from the Premier League. And Tim Durrans will wrap up all today's games after this.
Balls.
Ball out to the right to Mewett. Mewett shoots over the bar. And Ross, over to you.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's direct play. It's come from Harrison. They don't win the first contact, but Charlie Cott and Josh are pressing the game so high in and around Jason and Alfie. They're able to win the second ball, and a good running behind from Jimmy, who, again, better strike, cleaner strike, get that on target. It could cause a little bit more problems. Should probably hit the target.
Eastleigh 2, Maidenhead 3 from 2-0. Potentially another. Eastleigh now getting devved, as I call it. They're getting devved, as Aldershot got devved on Friday. 85 minutes gone here. Can Wanderers get the 3 points they desperately need? Can Aldershot get the 3 points they desperately want? Kwame Thomas battling for the ball.
How's he end up?
Tolaj gets away from his man, tries a shot from distance. And he snatches at it. He got Willard. He got Willard and Glover to the left of him. And on that occasion, the shot skipper on the day should have passed there, Ross, yeah?
Sorry, Rob. Yeah. I got annoyed there. I got frustrated.
What was your point? Make it now.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, he's been so relaxed and calm all game, and wins the 1v1 like he's exceptional at that. Take your time, and he scored so many goals from out there. You sort of back him, but you've got to take it a bit closer to goal. Good
battle here. Glover wins it, hooks it over his head. A fourth goal, just to put the cherry on the icing on the cake for Crawley. Newport 0, Crawley 4. Adam Campbell there in stoppage time. Full report on that one to come from Gary Smith after the game. Here we're into the 86th minute. Tolaj is in, sends it across to Daly, doesn't get the weight of the pass right, but Fuller can only clear it to Stokes. Can Stokes still got a magic moment or two left in an Aldershot Town shirt? Gives it to Frost, goes down for the return on the right, comes off of Tom Blair, I think it is, and into touch, throw into the shots. They've scored a few key goals late at the East Bank end this season. Can they get another one here? We've got a goal at Woking. Let's just get this attacking throw in from Aldershot, see what happens from that. Minoga with the ball into the area, flicked on by Kwame Thomas, taken down by Tolaj, and then volleyed over the bar again. And Aldershot Town just can't find the finish today. They've had everything, but it remains 1-1. We're nearly 87 minutes through this one now. But let's go back over to Tom Mitchell. It was Bromley 0, Woking 1, but there's been another goal, Tom.
Yeah, it's Bromley 1, Woking 1. Late heartbreaker, scuff finish inside the box from Kido Taylor-Hart. Just went beyond the reach of Will Yaskalainen. Heartbreak for Woking. They fought so hard. That's why Bromley are one of the National League's top outfits. So we're into last minute stoppage time. Bromley 1, Woking 1. Cheek flicks on towards Davis.
Indeed, Tom Mitchell. So all square there now. It's 1-1 between Bromley and Woking. It's 1-1 here. Crawley almost halfway back down the M4 from Newport. Metaphorically speaking, of course, they're 4-0 up away at Newport. In the National League South, when we last heard, Eastbourne were beating Dartford, still winning 4-3. Farnborough winning away at Tunbridge, and Worthing a couple of goals up against Hampton and Richmond Borough. There's a flick on from Kwame Thomas. Tolaj can't get it under control. Minoga can't find his man. Harries goes back to Harfield. Harfield has to go back to Van Stapper-Schurf. Neither of these, both sides desperate to win. Neither of them for sure can afford to lose it today. Just a momentary lapse of concentration from Harfield, and the ball runs under his foot as he was desperate to look up and see what his next option was. Referee has indicated that he wants the throw-in taken from the halfway line. A reminder that Harrison Mail has made many key saves this afternoon to keep Dorking in it. And it's that Rutherford goal on 75 minutes that's drawn them level. And Charlie Carter since had a golden opportunity to put Dorking ahead. Excellent. They're on the attack now. Charlie Carter squares it to Jason Price, going to try a shot from distance. It's beaten away by Van Stappershaw. If it was a good shot, it was on target.
It was.
And it was a really good save, Ross McNeely.
Yeah, I mean, Jason's a really good finisher. I mean, I as soon as that fell to him there, I expected that to sort of like be a cross goal in the bottom corner. He's excellent at that type of finish, even on his weaker foot. So, forces a save. It's a target. Much better from Dorking. They've been really good last 20 minutes. Really on the front foot, really positive. So,
referee wants a word about some push-in. Dagenham Redbridge 1, Ebbsfleet United 1, and that is a 95th minute equaliser for Ebbsfleet, and that could prove to be such a crucial point for them. In that it's finished 1-1 between Bromley and Woking, and full-time Crawley 4-0. Rochdale 1, Hartlepool 1 is probably one of the only games in the National League today which doesn't affect the promotion or the relegation situation.
Massive clubs as well.
Yeah. In the 90th minute, throw in for Dorking into the penalty area, bobbling around, headed away only as far as Blair. Blair sends it back out to the left-hand side to Taylor. Taylor back to Blair, but it's well seen by Stokes, who's pulled off the ball. And full time at Tunbridge Angels. Tunbridge 1, Farnborough 2. We've got the official man of the match now, and Tolaj has been given the man of the match, but the applause is a smattering because Tolaj could and maybe should have won it for Aldershot, and he could and maybe should have passed once or twice. We're going to have just 4 added minutes, so 7 in the first half, 4 in the second. There's a ball bouncing over the top. Kwame Thomas chasing it, and Isaac Philpott takes no chances.
It's funny because the Dorking looked nervy first 20, and then you now in Aldershot look the nervy side, and
yeah, and they should, because they're hanging on to that playoff place.
Pushing for it really, though. I mean, they started the half really well.
Throw into Aldershot down the left-hand side, and we are in to almost the end of the first minute of 4 added. This game has gone so quickly this afternoon. In it comes from Harfield. Little flick on, a little touch towards goal. Might have even been off a Dorking head, but Harrison Mayle's come out and snaffled it. And, well, I was just thinking, should I go to Ross or Steve for a man of the match? I think we all know who the man of the match is. Any disputes? Anybody got another name? No. Shake of the head from Steve and Ross. We're all giving it to Harrison Mayle. Here's Willard hooking the ball forward and into touch. And Aldershot looking scrappy at times in this second half. A game they should have been out of sight in. But Dorking Wanderers, full credit to them. You don't write them off.
There's been so many changes though, hasn't there? I mean, like, you've got Tommy in midfield, you've got obviously Stokes has dropped in there, Tolaj has dropped in there.
Harfield sending the ball out to the right hand side. Tolaj will chase for it with Barry Fuller. There's a coming together, and the referee sees that as a foul. I think it literally was a coming together, but well done to Blair, who took himself into it. Free kick to Dorking. And it's full time at Worthing. Worthing are home and dry with another 3 points. Up to 4th as well in the table, without Tommy Willard, who's on the pitch in front of us here. And he's battling for possession now with Jimmy Mewett. Jim Mewett still going, tries to get his cross in. That's cleared away by Harries up towards Daly. Little push in the back by Philpott, not spotted by the referee. Glover brings it down, looks to go past Cool, who body checks him. Nothing given. Dorking carry on. Rutherford's got it. Rutherford's lost it. Glover's got it. Down the line to Kwame Thomas. Does well to hold it up. Plays it into the path of Glover. Clips it up and over the top. Kwame Thomas jumps. Can't win it cleanly. Appeals for a foul. Nothing given. Bailey's taken it. Daly's taken it off the toes of Philpott. Squares it across. Cleared away by Craig for a throw into shots. And we got 1 added minute left. Dorking holding on here with defending to do. Both sides desperate for the win.
There, wasn't it?
It was messy.
Yeah, it was like tired.
It was super messy. They could have done with Messi out there, both sides. In comes the ball. Flicked on by Kwame Thomas. Cleared away at the far post by Craig. So well positioned. Willard holding it up. Goes back to Haji Minoga, slips, gets up again, carries on with the ball, feeds Harries. Harries with another ball to Minoga. Can he take it under control? Twists, turns, gets up off the floor again, strokes it out to the right side to Willard. Willard to Frost. Aldershot have to get the ball into the box here. Back to Willard. Willard's going to send it in, and it comes. Tollard! Oh, it's the save of the lot from Harrison Mayle. He climbs high up to his left and tips it over the bar. And it's been a one-man shot-stopping performance from Harrison Mayle. Incredibly, corner to shots again. Harfield going over to take. Very quick word, Ross.
I mean, yeah, what a save. Point blank header, flicks it on, like, could go anywhere. It does happen to go straight at him, but to turn it over the bar, like, unbelievable, really.
Incredible save.
Yeah, incredible. He deserves. I mean, they're going to get. Hopefully, they're going to look like they're going to get a point. He deserves a point, Harrison Mayle.
Okay, corner to shots then in the dying seconds here. Referee spotted another push and given a free kick to Dorking, and it's a ridiculous
kick off someone.
It's a ridiculous waste of a set piece from Aldershot, and the referee's calling back somebody. I'm not sure if it's Daly. Is it an Aldershot player or a Dorking player? Now Philpott and Kwame Thomas both getting involved. Referee's certainly going to have a word. He may well get cards involved as well. Certainly, is it Daly that's being called over? It's not evident who it is he wants to speak to. He's calling the captains for sure. Time's pretty much run out. We're into added time at the end of added time, and the referee's just going to say get on with it, and fair play to him.
What a waste of time.
Oh, I thought we might be seeing red there from the way that was all going on, but there is the final whistle. Huge credit to Dorking Wanderers. Huge credit to Harrison Mayle, who's kept Wanderers in it. And huge credit to Alfie Rutherford coming off the bench and getting the equaliser. The shots led from the second minute. Josh Barrett with his first goal for the shots, but they couldn't put the game to bed, largely thanks to Harrison Mayle. Both sides desperate for a win, Ross. Both sides couldn't afford to lose. And what often happens in that situation, a draw, 1-1. Just try and sum that up.
God, I mentioned in commentary like the balance of all the shots. As soon as that shifted a little bit and Theo went off, and you lost that ability for someone to sit in front of the back three and control players in and around him, it got all rather messy for Aldershot, really. And I know they sort of like to work in those like turnovers, attacking turnovers, but it suited Dorking a lot more. In the last 20-25 minutes, Dorking really grew in confidence and quite easily could have snatched it, but then obviously Harrison Mayle's made 5 or 6 unbelievable saves. But I mean, Tommy's created a really attacking, young, energetic side, which is really good to watch. And you've come to a game where how it's only 1-1 and how it's stayed that low a score, I'll absolutely never know. So it's a great point for Dorking. Certainly helps them in their cause, and Aldershot look like potentially that they've probably kicked themselves a little bit and pushing for playoffs and how they've not scored more, but it's a positive performance nonetheless.
Thank you very much, Ross. We may come back to you for... Oh, sorry.
No, I was going to say, winning these games isn't for everyone, Rob.
Great point there from Ross McNeely, who remains the only human being alive with a 100% record in the Dorking Aldershot game. Steve Gibbs, try and sum it up as well and give us a flavour, something different before we head back to the studio. Cheers.
Yeah, I think huge credit to Dorking for sticking at it. They would have gone into the dressing room at half-time knowing that anything they got from this afternoon but a severe beating would have been a let-off for them. But Harrison Mayle has produced one of the best goalkeeping performances at the Ebb Stadium that we've seen in many a year, and he alone, really, you would say, has earned that point. But Aldershot Town, they did cede the initiative after half-time. As Ross said, they lost a little bit of balance in trying to go for the second goal. They left themselves susceptible to the counter-attack, to the equaliser, and that sucker punch did come. And in the end, Aldershot Town had by far the most chances over the 90 minutes, but you would say for their stickability, for finding a way, Dorking deserved a point. Yes, Aldershot Town will feel they should have won this game 4-5-0, but Dorking have done really well. Whether it'll be enough in the grand scheme of things for either team remains to be seen. Both teams needed a win, but it's given Dorking a shred of hope, considering the run that they've been on, the awful run, conceding so many goals. 1 point from the last 18. A point here is definitely a step in the right direction for them, but for Aldershot Town, you were thinking 4 points from 6 over Easter, maybe a draw at Maidenhead, a win here this afternoon, and you're set for the final 4 or 5 games of the season, and you're really in the mix. If Aldershot Town fall out of the playoff picture between now and the end of April, you'll probably look back at Easter and think that's where it unravelled. A debilitating, disappointing defeat at Maidenhead, and then only taking a point from a game they dominated this afternoon isn't really good enough.
Thank you very much, Steve Gibbs. Thank you very much to Ross McNeely. A quick look at the other scores and the league table, and we may get further word from Ross, but we do also need to wrap up all the other games, which Tim will do very shortly. 1-1 here, Altrincham 1, Oldham 0. It means it keeps Oldham at bay for Aldershot. Halifax thwarted by the weather, but they now sit just outside the playoffs, 3 points behind Aldershot with 2 games in hand. And it might be in future days that we realise how much damage has been done by this Easter for Aldershot Town. A point for Woking at Bromley, more to follow on that one shortly. The point for Dorking doesn't take them away from second bottom, but it does mean they're 4 points away from safety, not 5. And you never know, Ross, it could be a key point, couldn't it?
You never know. I mean, you look on those last 3 games, I think they've got Hartlepool, Rochdale, and another game that's massively winnable. They've got Altrincham at home as well, which is massively, any game at home for Dorking is massively winnable. So the point will be massively helpful. They still need to try and get that 3 wins, which will massively help them, and there's enough games to do that. So yeah, it stops the rot a little bit, and not many teams come here and get a point neither. So it's super positive in that. And I mean, Charlie Carter scores that chance at the end, or Jason Pryor fires across goal. Could quite easily been a different result.
It certainly could. Thank you very much, Ross. Been brilliant having your insight today. Let's wrap it up from here. It's honours even, Tim. 1-1 here in the Shotts and Dorking game. Back to you to wrap up the rest of the sport in action.
No, great stuff, Rob. Well wrapped up. We've got 2 guys, though, desperately waiting so they can go down and get reaction. Let's go to Crawley Town. Brilliant win, Gary Smith, away at Newport County by 4 goals to 0.
Absolutely incredible, Tim, and that is not an April Fool's Day scoreline, a late one. It did finish Newport County 0, Crawley Town 4. Crawley ahead inside the first 60 seconds, courtesy of a first goal of the season by Dion Conroy on the volley from a ball in from the right-hand side by Will Wright. Will Evans had a great chance for Newport to level things up, but Corey Dye made a brilliant save one-on-one against the striker, and then Crawley doubled their advantage after 26 minutes. Ronan Darcy jinking around the edge of the penalty area before firing home a right-footed shot low into the corner, and that's the scoreline they're led by at the break. The second half was relatively quiet, but then Lawrence Maguire made it 3-0 on the volley from a free kick by that man Will Wright again, coming in from the far side. He got his way away from the Newport defence, and we thought he was going to head it towards goal, but he stretched out a leg and volleyed it into the top corner to put Crawley in absolute dreamland. And then the real cherry on the Easter egg, Tim, after 90 plus minutes, Adam Campbell, after some great play down the right hand side between Liam Kelly, Will Wright and Kellen Gordon, resulting in Gordon playing the ball into the box. Jack Rolls missed it, but Adam Campbell, just outside the 6-yard box, didn't. Swept it home first time beyond the goalkeeper Townsend and into the back of the net. 4,643 people here to watch this one, Tim. 230 Crawley Town fans, and they will go home absolutely delighted because their side are back in the playoffs, Tims, at their own right as well. 2 points clear of the team in 8th place, which is Morecambe. Crawley 62 points from 40 games. 6 games to go. They couldn't do it, Tim, surely, could they?
Could they? Great stuff. Well done. And surely Sutton can't stop, can they? 3-1 winners at home to Swindon Town. Out of the bottom 2 for now. How about our other featured game in National League? Heartbreak for Woking in the end, away to Bromley. Tom Mitchell.
Yeah, Woking fought so hard, but it just wasn't meant to be, collecting a big 3 points. But a point is still a valuable one on the road at a top side. It was Ricky Corbeau, the last minute of normal time, the first half. He gave Woking lead. There wasn't really too many clear-cut chances in the first half. This was probably the best one of the lot, and it was a long diagonal ball from Burko from the left towards Dan Moss at the back post, hit it across to Ricky Corbeau, who kneed it into the back of net. And the first half, Woking had, in the second half, Woking had a lot of control actually without the ball, and they had some really good chances on the counter-attack in the last 10 minutes with Jaden Luke and Charlie Kendall forcing saves out of Lewis Thomas, but Bromley cranked up the pressure in the last few minutes with Michael Cheek and Kido Taylor Hart forcing Jaskalainen in some really good saves, but Jaskalainen was not to deny Kido Taylor Hart in the first minute of stoppage time. Woking couldn't deal with a long ball into the box. It fell into the path of Kido Taylor Hart, volleyed it low into the bottom corner, went agonisingly past Will Jaskalainen. But Woking, it's still a good point on the road, albeit they haven't moved up in the table, and the gap to the relegation zone has closed to 3 points. It's on to Dagenham now at the Laithwaite Community Stadium on Saturday. Full time, Bromley 1, Woking 1.
Wonderful stuff. Reaction, if we can squeeze it in before 6. Great stuff. Thank you, Tom. And so, brilliant day in the second division and a pretty good day in National League South. Kevin Anderson, who was down in Kent watching Eastbourne Borough beat Dartford.
Absolutely terrific, absolutely vital 3 points, of course. This is one of the matches that was clearly targeted by the management. They know how they can get out of this. It's quite interesting. It's almost mathematical and scientific, but they were the better side from start to finish this afternoon. They led 1-0 at half-time. Yaya Bamba with a simple goal at the back post when a keeper missed a cross. They had a super spell at the beginning of the second half without adding to the score. And you worry a bit when that happens, don't you? Because then Dartford did get it together a certain amount. But halfway through the half, 67 minutes, that man Bamba again forced his way through, smacked one in off the left-hand post for 2-0. Dartford kept going to their own credit. They piled it forward, but they were a little bit unsubtle, shall we say. And they didn't really have any clear chances on goal. So great defending, great opportunity taking, and 2-0 to the Borough means that they go out of the bottom 4 for the first time for absolutely ages. Meanwhile, across our patch, a 2-1 victory for Farnborough. Excellent stuff there. Came from a goal down. They were 1-1 at half-time. A goal in the second half has clinched the 3 points, so they're moving ever nearer to the playoffs. And Worthing made it 3 out of 3 for our clubs with a 2-0 victory at home over Hampton and Richmond, Tim.
Wonderful stuff, yes indeed. Thank you. Farnborough within goal difference of the playoffs and Worthing up to 4th. Great stuff.